Taylor, Frankie, Paul, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thank you.
I think let's just get right into it.
Okay.
You are on Call Her Daddy, so we can officially announce that you are this season's Bachelorette. How are you feeling?
To be honest, surreal. It has not hit me like right now in this moment. I'm just thinking about it, and it's like it's not real. It's not real, and it's not gonna be until I think the limo's pulling up, and I'll be like meeting the people. So nervous. How did I get here? Like in my head, I'm like, how is this happening? That is it's my answer.
Well, I would also say, like, I think people are going to be so shocked and surprised for multiple reasons. Mm-hmm. First being that this was supposed to be the season of The Bachelor. Like, there is supposed to be a man that's sitting there right now that I'm announcing. And instead, it's you, which is the best surprise ever. But how did it get to be you?
I'll give my perspective. I don't know, like, how that worked out in my favor. But I made a TikTok actually being like, because people are like, you should go on The Bachelorette. Obviously my relationship was not, it didn't work out or it wasn't working out, and people could see that. And like, you should just, go on The Bachelorette. I used to see like little side comments. So I made a funny video. And this was actually 3 years prior. I made the same video, but I was like, hey, I'm single. I think I'm looking for someone. That's what the TikTok's saying. I hope someone will take me. I'm on probation. I'm also this, and all these things aligned that actually had been. It's like a Lindsay Lohan TikTok.
I've seen it.
So, and then I literally was like, this is funny, Bachelorette, send it off. And then once I did, like, people started tagging like The Bachelorette, like, you should. And then I don't know if that got their attention or someone was like, yeah, maybe. And then it was a joke to me, like, unattainable.
Right. I'm never going to be The Bachelorette, but I'll make a fun TikTok.
Yeah. And then I think, I heard there was some talking, and then it was like, we had a meeting, and then I still didn't believe it until like, I got the invitation of, will you be our Bachelorette? And I was just like, same thing, shaking, pacing back and forth. I was like, there's no way.
When they offered it to you, did you have any hesitations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Talk to me about those.
I did. I guess going in my head, I'm like, okay, how do I make this work? I'm a co-parent. I have 2 baby daddies, not one. So I'm dealing with 2 different people, right? My children, my home base is here. Can I travel that long? Can I be gone that long? But then I'm also thinking on the side, I'm like, the other 2 moms, that are in my group are doing Dancing with the Stars, and they brought their family out, but also they have their husbands with them. So for me, I'm like, is this possible for me to do, like, as a single mom? Can I make it work realistically, no matter how much I want this? And, I was like, I can. If I want to, I can. You can do anything you want if you want. And it comes down to that. So I was just like, I will make it work. I have a team of people that I don't think I utilize. Like, I can have them and, help. I can ask for help more, and I don't, usually. But I came to a point where I cannot do all of this alone. So, I hired on my family, assistant, nanny, and I was just like, we're going to do it.
I mean, it's such a huge opportunity. And I also recognize that the double standards of being a woman and a mom versus being a man and versus being a father. Yeah. It's like the dads get to just go and everyone's like, oh, he's like thriving. And if a mom ends up doing something for herself, it's like there is a double standard of like, you're such a bad mom. Mm-hmm. How could you do this? So I do appreciate you sharing that. Like, there's like a lot of conversations that had to be had in order for you to think about taking this journey with yourself, because it also involves your family.
Yes.
What was your family's reaction when you told them?
Also, I think very like shocking. It took a minute for people to actually like, is this an idea or are you getting it? It was the same thing. Like, and I think once it actually, we saw all the roses and whatnot, then it was like, oh, and they're all excited. My mom was like, I think this is a great opportunity. This is something so new for me because obviously I got married young, divorce, and then the first guy I met was the next relationship. So I have not done the whole meeting new people out the same, like dating at the same time. I don't know, you know how The Bachelor works. You're dating, right? Like several people. And so I've never done that. So that will be new to me.
You've never had a roster?
No.
You're going to have the biggest roster?
No.
Is it registering to you yet?
No. How do people do it? That's what I've been asking. Because I've been asking guys, like, how do you guys do it? I know you guys like date girls, and I've had flings, sure, when I was younger, but I'm like, this is like different. Like, do you not feel bad? Like, that's going to be really hard for me, like, hurt people's feelings. Like, what if you do like two people?
It's going to be fascinating to watch. And I think something that we're all very excited about is you are the first Bachelorette in the history of the entire franchise to be coming from not the franchise. Like, you have not been a part of this. You're coming in fresh. You have no experience with this format. Like, what do you think is going to be the biggest adjustment for you?
All of it. Clearly. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen the show. I've seen some, I know the Hannah Brown and like Colton. I've seen more of like, I would say, the more recent years, but I am not a reality TV girl. So I don't watch reality TV. So when people are talking about all the huge stars that people know, you probably know all of them, and I'm like,
it's new to you.
Who that is? Like, sometimes I'm on a billboard and I don't know who I'm next to, besides like Kardashian, which I haven't watched reality TV. So it's not like anything against them. I like to leave my reality. My life's kind of crazy. So I like to watch the scripted of where I can like leave, where I live reality TV, right? Like, that's my life. Cameras or not is chaos, as you guys, some people have seen.
Yeah, we've all seen it. But I also think something that I think is exciting, and when you're saying that, is that exact fact that you aren't familiar completely with the format. And I think what I am excited for you and ABC to do is like, let's lean into that, right? Like, let's see these moments where previously people will be like, well, I was a contestant and I know how to act on a group date. And now when I'm the Bachelorette or the Bachelor, I know how those things go. You're going to be like, I have no idea what's going on, and I'm just going to go by what I feel, which I think is another part that's going to really excite people and make the viewing experience different.
Yeah. Like, I don't have notes of like how this works or what, because my friends have seen it. We were practicing a rose ceremony and they're all there they're pretending to be the men. And I'm like, okay, William, I was literally practicing and I was giving us, she's like, no, you don't do that before, you like do that after. And so I was like, okay. And like,
you're going to be like, what's your name over there with the black shirt? Yeah, you get a rose.
Like, you with the blue eyes.
Get over here.
I'm like, is there a name? Is there a name in here? Like, I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't know. And I know like some, but not to the extent of like my friends. Like, they knew what they were doing. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to ruin it. Like,
you're not going to ruin it. You're going to make it your own. And I think that's why this season, like, the world is about to freak out when they find out that you are officially the Bachelorette. I do have to ask, because obviously people are obsessed with the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Can we confirm you are still going to be on that show?
Yes.
We're doing both.
Yeah.
Your fame has been such a topic of conversation with the other women on Mom Talk throughout this entire ride. How do you think being the Bachelorette will impact those friendships?
I would think sorry, just think about CMA, but like
you're like, you're gonna go for a PR answer, like, I think they'll be happy for me, and then I'm like, bitch,
no. Okay, learning lesson for all of us. I will say, including myself, in that moment, I was a little upset within the 24 hours. We've already discussed that, okay, enough. But I think most of them are going to be happy for me and support me. I can't speak for everyone and what they actually truly think. You never really know. But I think we're all kind of doing our own things. And so that's nice that everyone's getting their own shots. And so then you could be like more of like, it's not just about her. And so I love that 2 of our girls Dancing with the Stars. I'm so excited. I want to be at their first show. I've been so like, I wanted that for them because they wanted it so much. And I like when they both got it, it was amazing. And then obviously you have Macy with her book tour coming up, and she's going to be doing that, and probably other things that are in the works that I might not even know about.
Wait, so have you told them that this is happening?
Yes.
All of them?
I think, most of them. Yeah, I think almost all of them know. Yeah, all of them know.
And did anyone give you a not so positive response?
No.
All positive?
All positive. They're like, everyone was like, this is exactly like what you need. And I think it's more so like, get out of the cycle you've been in. Like, obviously I've been kind of repeating the same things, and it's just like, it's uncomfortable. It's unknown. But do it,
So you don't think anyone's going to be having side group chats about this?
I mean, I won't. I can't say, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see on whatever season we'll be on. You know, like I don't know.
Fair. Okay, we need to talk about some pictures that you recently posted of a man with a guitar.
Okay.
The internet was absolutely freaking out when you they thought soft launched this relationship with this man. What is going on, Taylor?
Okay, so here's the thing: it's me. I do curveballs all the freaking time of being like, what? Huh? And I know that's people's reaction. That's the freaking point. And it wasn't a soft launch, whatever. I've met the guy twice. And so it was funny. I thought it was
the ABC is literally like code red. What is she doing? They're probably like, wait, what's going on?
No, they did. Right? They're like, wait, so like what's, I'm like, guys, it's okay. Like I do this all the time.
They're like, shit.
I like to know. I like to just like, what's going on? Like I'd like to confuse people. It's fun and it's entertaining. I don't know. So I guess I didn't really think that went too much through because I'm like, but, and then it said, and I was like, okay, I can understand how this looks. But to be honest, I'm going to be honest. I've met him twice. Likable guy. He's great. Are we official? No, I don't know the guy, right? Or is it a relationship? Nothing along the lines of like people soft launch. Like how I don't know him, you know?
So why did we post a photo of him?
Well, I see it wasn't real. You didn't know who it was. Really? So like what's going on?
You know the internet though. They like sleuthed so hard. I think they found him.
I didn't know it would be like FBI work like that. I was like, oh shit, okay. But it doesn't matter. It's the same story. Like he's a great guy. He's nice. He's like respectful. And I wanted to date a little bit before. And that's the point is like, I haven't dated. Like I need to get back into it. And, don't people date before they go on a dating show? That's the point.
Yeah. And so you guys just
had
had maybe a summer fling situation.
Not even. No, it's so, I don't think people know how like recent this is.
Okay,
like,
wait. Where do things stand between you guys? Does he know you're going on the Bachelorette?
Yes. Okay. So he's not from Utah. He's from a different state. And so I was like, hey, I don't know you. You don't know me. We seem like we'd vibe. Come visit.
Wait, how did you meet him?
Okay. At TikTok Live, he was singing and playing guitar. And he doesn't normally, I don't think it was like new to him too. So I was like, dude, this guy's got a voice. And I've never sat and watched a TikTok Live really, nor do I write on them. Okay, so I was the one who was like, you have a really good voice. Can you play this song? And he's like, oh, hey, Taylor. Okay, get this. It's actually a fun story right here. So you can't go in, when you're on a live, you can't look at people's like who they are technically. You can see the name. So I was like, that's a good song, blah, blah. He's like, hey, Taylor, like, where are you from? And I was like, Utah, Mormon state, you know, blah, 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 like teasing. And he's like, oh, yeah, my ex-girlfriend used to watch that Mormon wife or the Mormon wife show. And I was like, oh, I made an appearance in it one time. And he was like, no way, you did? And so I was like literally just like teasing him. And then he ended up looking me up after the fact and probably was like, oh, she was just like totally bullshitting me. And he was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. So he flew out. You guys hung out twice.
Yeah, it's only been twice.
Okay. How would you feel if he showed up though on this season?
Okay. Going back to your original question, like I did tell him, I was like, when he got here, I was like, oh, by the way, I'm doing the Bachelorette. And he was just like, oh, like that's like there's no feelings there. So it's like, cool. And then he obviously he was like, well, I was like, would you ever do it? The next time he came, I was like, would you ever do that? Come on in. He's like, I don't really want to date on like reality TV. Like, he's just like a good soul. And for me, all my friends were like, green flag, green flag. The fact that he didn't hop onto that.
Right. That he wasn't like, ooh, sign me up. Tell the producers to put me on.
Yeah. It was like, he's like, go do your thing. You know, if you meet someone, we weren't meant to be. And if not, like, maybe I'll be here. And I'm like, oh, you're like mature.
Okay, I can't help but be like, why do I want him to like come halfway through and crash the season and show up?
Okay, so I did have that thought. I was like, okay, so he has all these high, so at least I know that there's a good guy there, and it's like maybe I do meet someone and that wasn't meant to be, but like let's just say I don't like anyone, because I asked that. I was like, well, what if I don't find someone? Like, how does this work? Like, do I like, well, if you don't find someone, you don't find someone. That's that. And so if, let's say, we're down the line and I'm like still not feeling it, then I was like, would you be open to it? And he's like, if it's at the very end and you still had your mind on it, then yeah, I'd be open to it.
I think though what's exciting for you, Taylor, is like you just said, because I've been there. When you have only had like 2 serious relationships truly, and you get out and you have the mindset like, I'm about to start dating. At first, it's terrifying because understandably, we're all our own worst enemy. And we're like, oh my God, I'm going to be so awkward. And like, how do I like flirt and how do I be cool and whatever. But then when you start to find your groove, it's like fun and you actually enjoy yourself. And then you start to be like, wow, I have these options and I can, you know, do whatever I want to do. And so as much as it's exciting with him, I love that you were like, I just realized there's a nice guy out there that has like green flags. What a concept. And I have a feeling that when you get to the mansion, you're going to find a lot of those and you're going to be like, wait a second, this is what it's supposed to feel like. I should be courted. I should be treated well. I should have all these great experiences. And I'm excited for you to experience that. Yeah. So yes, we like him, but I think it's going to be exciting to also see how many other guys you end up liking.
Yes. And I also,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And another guy, you know, I was like asking for advice from, and he was just like, you don't have to be so quick to close. Like, it's like there's like this timeline, like because he was gonna take me out on a date with, and I met Dakota, and then he was gonna take me on a date now, and then he thought like, are you dating people? Like he's like, why is it so fast on the closing? You know? And I'm like, that's a good question. He's like, ask yourself that, and make them work for it. Like make them work for it. Like show them. And if they like you and you're dating other people, then they're gonna step up their game. Really.
You just mentioned Dakota. Let's talk about your ex, Dakota. You're like, did I say that?
It was eventually going to come up, let's be honest.
A huge storyline of Secret Lives was your relationship with your ex, Dakota, this past season. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming going on The Bachelorette means that you two are done for good.
Yeah. Yes.
It's over.
It's over. And we'll see that play out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who made the final call to end it?
I did.
So you officially think it's over with him?
I don't think. I know.
Okay.
Yes.
When was the last time that you guys hooked up?
Let me think on that one, actually.
You're like, Alex.
It's like sweating in here. Like,
like, is this Call Her Daddy? Where am I? What's happening?
No, I can't remember at the top of my head, to be honest.
Stagecoach?
Oh, yeah. That might have been maybe one after. Maybe one or two.
Okay. Maybe a couple after.
Yeah. Okay. Again, it's been very confusing, if I'm being honest. And I did want to end up with him. That was no secret to anybody. It still isn't. It wasn't a secret. And I'll always admit that to whoever asked me, did I love him? Absolutely. I had a baby with him. I wanted to be with him. But it just did not work out. There were certain things that were forever closing for me. And again, everyone will see that. And I can't speak on that yet, but it closed the book for me, but it was really hard to let go. That was a hard pill to swallow, that I can't be with you now. And like, there was no pain like it. I will say that was one of the hardest, this last summer was one of the hardest summers I ever had, because I was like, oh my gosh, Taylor, you have to accept that you're not ending up with him. And to walk away from someone you initially wanted is a pain that I can't describe to anybody unless if someone's done it. So it was hard to let go fully. And it's like, but did you hook up and this and that? And it's like, yes, I loved him. Like I wanted to be with, I won't be with him, but that was a hard one I had to let go, and it was hard.
Dude, I think it's so hard. And I think a lot of us have been in those type of relationships where it ends so poorly, but then there's still a part of you when you were the one that was like hurt and done wrong, where you're like, I want to still like have a couple last moments with you, because like, fuck, I wish this didn't end the way that it did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's hard to let go. Like it is like, I wanted this, like, and it's not that easy to be like, okay, F you. Yes, you do say that, but like, it still was not easy. And I did have those those setbacks, and I won't lie about them. Like I had them.
And I love that you're being honest though, because girls watching and listening, like we've all been there where you're like, okay, how am I going to tell my friends that we were just together last night? And you're like sitting there in the morning being like, okay, I'm just going to tell them. And we've all been there. So you almost can't judge yourself, because that just means like you still need a little bit more closure, and that's okay. And a lot of times I actually really believe it takes finding someone new.
Yes.
Because when you're just still in that rhythm, it's so hard to be like, okay, so now I'm just going to go sit in my room and stare at the ceiling.
Literally.
If you don't have a guy taking you on a date that you actually like.
Yeah. I now understand that, because my friends were like, you just need to like get under someone else. And I'm like, maybe not. Like I was like, I don't want to go that route this time. Like I don't want to do that. And I didn't, to an extent of that wasn't my intention, but to have maybe a new crush that, distracts you, or there are other guys out in the world. You have to remember that, because you hone in, you're like, no one else, but there is.
And you did that, and you were like, wait, green flags, I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
oh
like
my gosh.
This guy.
Yes.
Okay, wait, have you told Dakota that you're going to be the Bachelorette?
I have not confirmed it with him. So I don't know if he knows, or if he knew I had the opportunity. I haven't taken it. He doesn't know as of. So he might know. When does this come out?
Wednesday.
Yeah, so he'll know Wednesday.
How do you think he'll react?
I think probably sad. If anything he says is real, I would say sad. He does know that I was dating and meeting people, so that we've already had that that first hurt, I guess. I think that's the hardest part is you see their first dating or hookup or whatever it is. That's going to always like take a toll no matter what. And I can even say that with my ex-husband, right? It was always the first, they're just like, whoa, you know?
But this is like official. Like you're moving on.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll watch?
Yes. I think he's always watching as of now. And maybe it takes him to like someone new and focus on her. And then maybe it'll be different. I can't say. But
okay, well, now that you will be announced, they can finally start casting the men for your season. I want to walk through what your dream man is today, okay?
Okay.
We're going to start with age. What is an ideal age range for you?
I think, I would 30s, early 40s, youngest is the late 20s, but I think preferably 30s.
How much younger would you go, you think?
27, 28, the lowest.
Yeah. And what is the highest you would go?
Probably 42, 43. So that's about a 10-year difference.
Yeah. Does he have to be willing to move to Utah?
Yes. Yep. I mean, that I'm sorry if that is a make or break for them, but yeah, I am in Utah and I have 2 baby daddies. I'm going nowhere. So you will be moving to me in Utah. So if you like me enough, you will be moving.
You will be moving.
Hey, Utah's pretty cool. Utah's not that bad.
What is an ideal career for him?
Like what?
Yeah, like what do you want him to do?
Oh, see, that doesn't
matter.
Doesn't matter. Obviously, I want him to be like hardworking, motivated. Like I'd prefer that. I don't, want just someone that's not, right? Because you're also like, I have 3 kids, and I don't want to be mom and dad. Like that's what I am now. And it's really hard. And yes, they have their dads, but I'm speaking in my own home, right? Like I'm doing a lot of things besides my support of my family. But at nights, it's me. I have to wait till they go to bed to have a shower. Like things you typically can do, I can't do until I have a helping hand. So, yeah, I just want them to be like willing.
Would you be down for like an influencer, social media creator type person?
I would. I'd be open to it. Preferably not, but I would be open to it.
Would you be okay if you remain the breadwinner?
Yes.
Okay, what does his ideal date night look like? Like, what are you hoping he's doing on a date night for you?
See, that switches up because I do love, obviously, if you were to surprise me with a cute, like, let's say a out fun activity date, that's awesome. But to be honest, like I also love a really chill date. So if we were just to go grab freaking fast food somewhere, put on our Crocs and sweats and go and get to know each other and just talk for hours and hours, I love that because you're getting to know them. I don't really want to I've done the whole jumping into like either if you're just like hooking up, and I always regret that because it's like I just gave you a really special thing, and that I like to lead up to that. I want to do that. And then also I love communicating and talking, not just like you can go distract yourself with the games, the arcades, jet skiing, whatever it is. Sure, those are fun and I want to do those, but I want to get to know you.
I'm excited though you saying that because I think that will play really well into the Bachelorette because although the format is so beautiful and romantic and you're doing these incredible extravagant trips, when it comes down to it, the way that you actually find your people by the end is by having very intimate conversations.
Yeah.
Although you'll be like on a fucking Ferris wheel or some shit in the middle of France, you're going to be like, okay, wait, no, but tell me about your life.
Literally. And I'll be asking details that they don't like to, I make them very uncomfortable, I've learned. And I ask the nitty gritty. I'm like, so, your last girlfriend, like, why did that end? And what, like, what's the last position? Like, what, like, I literally like to, it's weird. Like, it's not even, you can call it, I just like to know, and I'm teasing to that extent, right?
Yeah,
if I'm doing,
I'm like, girl, are you kidding me? Literally, when I met my husband, I was like, let's talk about every single girl you've ever dated in your life. He was like, you're insane. I was like, I know. No, but actually tell me.
Yeah, no, seriously. I like to know like the background of you, and not even just girls, but your family. Like even church will be a fun one to like learn about new churches because I'm open to any religion. Like,
okay, wait. So confirming, does he need to be Mormon?
No.
Have you told your family that?
Yes, I preferably not.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be open to Mormons. I'm obviously because I'm Mormon, but like he doesn't have to be.
Okay, it's night 1. He's walking out of the limo. What do you want him to be wearing ideally?
Don't they all kind of have to wear tux?
Well, I feel like as the night progressively goes on, some of them are showing up in like swim trunks and like it gets a little crazy. You want him in a tux.
Oh, that, or I would actually be fine with like jeans and a t-shirt.
You're like, wear your sweatpants and your Crocs.
I'd be like, hey, if they know me, if they've done studies on me, they know that they're like, I can show up in Crocs and she'll be
Watch
fine.
every man shows up in fucking Crocs. What is something at an entrance moment with a guy that would be an immediate no?
Ooh, that's a good one. I have not thought that far. An immediate no. Okay, honestly, this is a big ego, and you can tell that off energy. And so if someone's like, and I know they're trying to impress, there's a difference, I think, between impressing and you can just tell their ego. So if I feel like it's a really strong one, to me, it's going to be like, I think it's unattractive.
I completely agree. Okay, as I said, the entrances progressively get more and more insane, and like shit gets really weird. How would you feel if a guy rolls up and performs a striptease?
I would actually probably low-key love it. It'd be entertaining. It would probably, switch up the night.
Yes.
Because, you're probably doing some of the same, like, getting to know you, and then someone just comes and strips. I'm like, hell yeah, let's switch it up. Let's go. He'd probably get a
rose.
Gets a rose?
He'd get a rose.
Yeah, he's not going home night one.
Oh, my God. Okay.
But that doesn't mean everyone comes stripping. Okay, I can only handle one of that.
One boy.
Yeah.
Okay, he comes in jeans, no shirt, on a horse, and then lassos you in.
Definitely, he's not going home night one either.
Dude, we're giving everyone the playbook. They're all gonna roll up. I'm obsessed.
I'm an open mind too.
I love it. You're also down to have fun, which I think is good.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. He pushes a stroller up the driveway, looks you in the eyes, and says he's ready to be a stepdaddy.
He might get that impression rose. The stroller wins.
He gets the first impression rose.
Okay, maybe not that far, but he's not going home 9-1 either.
So he's getting the rose.
Yeah.
Okay, people, like you had mentioned, you don't need the guy to be Mormon, which I think a lot of people were probably wondering, right? Because you're on a show called Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and you are Mormon.
Yeah.
But I think you have been criticized for not being Mormon enough because of the way that you live your life publicly. What is your take on that?
So for me, I always say, I actually just had posted a TikTok and there was a comment saying like, hey, like you don't have to be in this cult religion to find happiness, because I'm in the video, I'm reading the Bible, and it's the Bible, not the Book of Mormon is what I'm not reading in the video. So just make that clear. So to me, just to have those foundations, and I do preferably want someone that, does believe in God, right? Because when you're raising your children, and it can get confusing when one doesn't and one does. And I do think about those things, and that's where also like I'll try to get to know them and where they stand on that. But I am up for hearing their side of it, because I have been also told, look, you believe so firmly in something and I can respect that, but there is also, I don't believe in it, and maybe you can respect that because we both don't have proof on it. And that's where faith comes in, right? I can't show you that it's real, but I can only believe, and that's faith. And then also there's a point that he can't prove that it isn't, right? And so I was like, that's a good take on it. Like, you're right, I can't prove anything, but I think the foundations of like even Christianity is kind of all like just like love, family, service, all the basics is what I really care about, and how you treat other people. I don't really care what religion you are. How do you treat other people? That is what I look at.
As you're saying that, I'm curious, like, how has your family handled, obviously with the success of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the spotlight on you guys not being Mormon enough?
Really, I think for the most part, well, obviously I have the thick skin that I do because of them, because I wouldn't, I don't think, be here today with all of the criticism I've gotten, so they've made us very tough. And in a way of, yes, my mom was growing up very blunt and honest, and I think that's a good thing, because I was able to take what I take on now today, because I was always told the truth, even if it was the hard truth, right? And they were pretty laxed. I think they're very like, we just understand, like, people make mistakes, and yeah, people do all these things that Mormons say, oh, that's not how we live, that's not like, yes it is. Yes it is. Some of us do. It's just behind closed doors, you're not willing to show it, and that's why it broke the freaking internet, because a lot of us do those things, but it was very image based. Like, this is how we live. We do know wrong. Oh, yes, everyone does. Any religion. We all make mistakes. We're all freaking human. We're no better than anybody else, but it pissed people off, because it's like, but that's not what we believe in. Okay. It doesn't matter if I drink, that doesn't make me a bad person. If I smoke, if I take a sip of coffee, all the freaking rules, it doesn't make me less of a person than you. And that was the point of it. And I still stand by it.
Huge part of the Bachelorette is exploring your physical connection with the men on the season. How did growing up in the church impact your relationship to how you felt about sex?
Very obviously taboo. So if I'm doing it, I'm not talking about it. I'm not telling my parents. I'm not telling anybody. I was very, I don't want to say secretive, but I was very like, oh, like I felt shame, guilt. So it's going to be a secret. And that I think is where everything, the irony in that is where I'm like, when my shit came out, I was like, but why hide it? Because I'm already doing it. Like, so, oh well, just freaking own it at this point. Like, so yeah, it's something, obviously we're taught, don't have sex until you're married. And I have, I go back and forth with this too, with people's opinions, because I see what they're saying. Obviously, it does prevent a lot of things of like pregnancies or STDs or just things that like it does affect you if you're having sex, right? Like, but at the same time, I hate that I felt like if I did do it, I wasn't married, that I'm this awful person and to sit in that shame. And I've also done that, like for an experience I have done that where I've cried after a lot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did something so bad. And like the guy was like really nice. And he was just like, but you didn't. You're not a bad person. And he was trying to convince me. And I'm like, but I am. And like, it's just almost like you grow up with this guilt of it. And I don't know if that's already just engraved in how we were raised. And that's no one to blame. I think we were like, obviously my parents, their parents taught them that and so on and so forth. And within our church, I think a lot of LDS members could relate to that. Like very taboo. And when that would come up, a lot of people are still uncomfortable. Like it's sacred. And I do understand that too. It's personal. And some people, maybe it should be personal too. Like I think moving forward for me, I don't probably want to be talking about my sex life, to be honest. I've been there. I've done that. I've broadcast it to the world and in so many different ways. But I think moving forward for me and my peace, I think that's something I do want to be personal with my next person and maybe not talk so much on it. And maybe that's just something I've grown into,
So going on The Bachelorette, obviously the fantasy suites are this like huge conversation around each season. Because, we see you guys go on dates. We see everyone form these connections. But then when you're down to 3 people, the fantasy suites come into play. Yeah. Have you thought about how you are going to approach them?
I have, and I have it set down.
Oh my God.
But going prior to that, so I don't know if you watched the Kelsey season, they're Kelsey and Joey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I watched some of it.
Okay. So in the fantasy suites, they never talked about it. And I wanted to know because obviously he ended up picking Kelsey, but I'm like, but did he sleep with all of them? Did he sleep with 2 of them? Because you could tell he loves Kelsey. But for me, obviously, if someone had said they loved me and they slept with all of us, it would be a deal breaker for me. Like it would be. So I was so curious. I'm like, wait, I need to know, did they not? And they never spoke on it, which maybe out of respect, that's something he didn't want to share. And so I also respect that. I'm like, okay, maybe he just didn't want his sex life being broadcasted and him and his future potential wife, So I kind of respect that too. It was never said. So for me, I do know how I'm going to go into that, but I don't want to give that away yet, right?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Let's say that ended up happening. You had 2 connections, or 3, and it ended up getting physical, and then the men judged you for that. How would you handle that moment?
Obviously, I'd feel lots of guilt. I'd feel shitty. And how can you be telling these, like if there's one specifically, let's just say hypothetically, I'm telling one that I want him in my head, or I'm telling him maybe on there. And then I do that. To me, it's like, well, you didn't like me that much because you wouldn't have risked me. And so I've been on the other end of that, right? So for me, I would be like, I wasn't enough because you knew the risk of like, if you did do this, potentially you could lose me.
It's so hard though, because I agree with you. Because if I was in the position, I'd be like, wait, if I'm the front runner, how are you literally sleeping with this person? But what about me? I think where it becomes complicated. And
that's what you signed up for?
A little bit. And I guess my question to you would be, and everyone's different, but I think a physical connection is so important in a relationship.
True.
And I think, which is going to be interesting to see with your season, is we can sit here all day and strategize, and you can be like, Alex, I am going in and I have a plan that if I know my front runner, maybe I will hook up with them, but no one else. And then how many seasons have we seen where they're literally standing with the producers in the back room being like, I'm going to lose my mind. I love them both. Like, I'm literally in love with 2 people. What do I do? Yeah. And if you're in that situation, Taylor, is it fucked up to be like, do you have to find out then what the physical connection is? Because what if you are not as physically attracted or compatible with someone?
Yeah, I know. And
I'm not saying this is going to happen, but do you know what I mean?
I feel that. And it's funny because my mom's back right here watching because I've told her that, and I'm like, Mom, you have to test the car before. Like how do you not know? And like that's a huge thing in marriages, and if you don't connect, that could be a huge like issue down the road when you're married. Like, and I do think that, and so that's where it gets confusing for me because I'm like, I understand the waiting game, but in that situation per se, 2-3 people, for me, I would feel disrespectful doing it to 2 people. And that's not to say like if there's another, person doing that, to each their own.
Yeah. I also think in previous seasons, the biggest note to anyone who has done that, it almost hasn't even been about them doing it and that's why people are mad. It's the lack of communication that comes with that, where it's like, be straightforward. Be like, I know this is the hardest thing to say. I'm very torn right now. And so like, I need to explore both 100% in order to know at the end. And like, but people never fucking do that. But I get it because it's so hard because you're in the moment and then words get jumbled and you're like, okay, so you're going to try to be straight up.
Yes, I think like you just said, be honest, because I think I can go back from my own experiences of like, the issue is what you didn't tell me. Like I was blinded by it. Yes. That's where it hurts. It's like the betrayal of it. So I think if you're straight up, but I also do think in my mind, if I'm trying to think of the flip side. Let's say I'm one of the runner-up girls. This is the Bachelor. He likes me. He's telling me this. And then he sleeps with all of us. To me, I'm like, but I wasn't your special one then. I'm not that special because you just risked me and you just lost me. So I do see that. And maybe that's the wrong mindset, like going into this. I don't know. But for me, like, I think if you're wanting one, and let's just say, you are in love with both, but I think there is one you like more than the other.
I agree with you. One has to be a front runner in your heart and in your soul. But I think it takes a lot to get to the point of how you know that person is the right one.
True.
Because sometimes you don't see people for a long time, or you have more dates with one. Like,
true.
Girl, I'm stressed for you.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, I don't know.
You're like, I actually take back everything
I just said. Ow. No, the thing is because I've never experienced it. So when you're saying, you could say this all day, but you've never done it. So how do you know? And you're right.
What would your reaction be if one of the guys that was a front runner said that he wanted to wait till marriage for sex?
That's a hard one. I would respect it because I'm like, oh, you're being respectful, but
you're like, my family would love you,
but that, gosh damn, that's a hard one. Cause like you said, see, I think there's a difference between, but like, I would be like, okay, if we were like the only ones and we were dating and we had time, but like to be married, I would probably say I want to date. I also, if there's an engagement, whatever it is, the process, I still am like taking my time with that too. So I'm not getting married like tomorrow. So how long are you willing to wait? And so that could be an issue down the road.
You, like we said, have been married, and you've talked about in the past that you kind of felt pressured at that point in your life to get married. Mm-hmm. The Bachelorette obviously ends an engagement. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about that? Like realistically, a man getting down on one knee after this, putting a ring on your finger. Tell me how you feel.
I mean, I feel like I am not one that's going to do it unless I feel that I'm ready for it. But let's just say I do find the man of my dreams and he's there and I fall in love. If we get engaged, I do want to take the time to be engaged and like still get to know him, because obviously it's no secret that this is a short-lived process. So I do want to take that time. Again, it's going to be my third serious relationship. I have children. It is a lot more serious rather than some like, I'm not a young girl just dating and like it's not going to be like that for me. It just isn't. And that's okay. But I would still want to get to know that person. And the engagement, I obviously I can see it, because to me, if something were to come up that is alarming, you can break it off, but it's not a full-on marriage where you're going through divorce and whatnot. And then also there's that time to grow and get to know him, and then even it's even more beautiful because it's a story. And then you get married, So it can go both ways, but I'm a very honest person. I'm going to say it as it is. Like, and I'm only going to do it if it's the right person.
What is something in the past that you thought you wanted in a partner romantically, and now you're like, I don't want that in a person anymore?
Okay, I've learned that I cannot do the life of the party guy. I can't do it. I can't do the class clown. And I'm attracted to that. Yes, I am. I'm like, oh yeah. Because they're your vibe. They're like high energy. Like I'm that way sometimes. But passive is what I've learned that I think is best for me. Like someone that is like personality, fun, but like do your thing. Do your thing. I'm one that cannot be controlled. It actually makes me worse, or told what to do. That is something that I don't. I'm all for like advice or like compromise that I can do, but when they're like, for me, I've learned I went from one extreme to the other of like, yes, very passive, kind of do your own thing, to one of very let's do everything together. And so when I found that, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. He wants to do everything with me. And then it's like, oh, okay, like it becomes a lot. And then I think I need someone in that middle.
Yeah, it's almost like you can kind of use your past experiences to make sure you're shaping yourself around the right human being. Because again, when you've only had like 1 to 2 experiences, it is tough to be like, wait, what else is out there?
Yeah.
And you're going to have 20 plus men and you're going to be overwhelmed with the amount of different personalities. But the life of the party is so fucking real. It's so attractive in the moment.
It is.
And then after like the 5th party, you're like, okay, wait, I'm like over here. Like, hello, can you stop doing that?
Yeah.
I want to talk about your ex, Dakota, in terms of throughout that relationship, you were very vocal that you kind of always felt like something was off.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think you kept trying to convince yourself that you should stay?
Because I thought in my mind that it was me. A trauma. Like it was too much back to back. So I got divorced. I had it go public. I had a miscarriage. I had another miscarriage. So for me, it was a lot of like my own decisions, and then some were not my own. Like obviously losing, having 2 miscarriages back to back was not my decision, right? Like, and then so that is postpartum. I'm in postpartum, and so I felt like, you're right. I just have a lot going on. There's a lot of trauma here. I need to work through this. It was always like, I believed that I'm feeling off because I'm scared. There's just so much back to back that I'm not in my right mind is what I felt like. And so for me, I was almost convinced like everything's okay. You're just scared because you've been through so much pain. And so I believed that. And so I'm like, you're right. Over time, I can heal this. We can do it. And it's great. And boy, was that a learning lesson. Like, and it's just like, I will never question that intuition ever again, because I'm glad I went through that. I realized how it's a gift. How spot on I am in not just that situation or that relationship, but in other circumstances. It has been spot on almost to the actual thing. And it's actually, I'm surprised with myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, like how did I know? Like so many things. And so for me, that voice is so there and loud now. And moving forward with someone else, I will know instantly. Like the fact that if I even have to question that, I know it's there.
You have your answer.
But that in itself, I get pissed because I'm like, Taylor, you knew, and you literally did not listen to yourself. You trusted someone else over your own gosh damn self. Like you literally, like I get resentful with myself. But I'm like, okay, I can't change it. We can't change the past. So I'm going to have to accept that happened. I'm going to have to accept that I ignored it and to never do that again. So in my future relationship, if there's an inkling of like question, wondering, I will never feel that anxiety ever again in my bed, like with someone. Like if I feel it, I'm out. Like it was what I felt. It's like when you're with someone that's, I guess it's a good situation, there's this peace that it comes with.
When you go into the Bachelorette, you're not going to have your phone to like fact check what these men are saying, and you can't sleuth and you can't look and you can't stalk and you can't do all the things that we girlies do. How do you think you're going to build trust with men in this season?
Yeah, honestly.
It's just based off of their word.
Yeah, it is. I think it's, one, a feeling. 2, you can kind of feel it, which is cool for us girls because we're like, you're bullshitting me, but let's go. Or it's just a peaceful feeling. And also, I think everything comes to the surface. So for me, I'm not worried. Like if they're lying about something and it happens to come out later, dude, like how did you think it wasn't? If please, if you haven't watched the freaking also our show, because like everything comes to the surface, and not just in my life, but I've seen it in all like friends and family's life. Like if you're lying, it's going to come out.
How do you feel about all these men having the opportunity to watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Like, does it freak you out a little bit? Do you want them to watch? Do you not want them to watch?
I go back and forth because obviously my first season, I was so freaking pregnant. And for me, it was like, it's hard to watch yourself be pregnant. It was 70 pounds on. I'm emotional. My life is a mess. Like, it's really hard to watch. It's PTSD. Like, for me, I'm just like, so it could scare them a little bit of like, I'll give you an example of just the guy that came out of state to visit me, right? He did not want to watch the whole series because he's like, I wanted to know you for you and not the show. And honestly, if he had watched it, he might have been a little nervous to come, right? And but he still had seen, you know, clips and whatnot. But he said, you're just so different than I would have thought, in a better way, I would hope. But he's like, you're more calm and chill, and there's like, I've been told like there's a peaceful presence, which I'll never understand that one because my mind is loud, right? So when people say that, I'm like, really? Like, it's so loud in here. What piece are you getting?
Like, where did you get that from, babe?
Yeah, but it is. And he was like, it's been, like, I just didn't expect it. And so I think that's kind of exciting too. And if they do see it, maybe they get a whole nother side of me too that they don't know. So
that's a good point. It's like whatever version, they're going to show up, whether they watched it or not. And there has been a lot of moments that we've seen. I know that we saw one of your lowest moments play out on the show the night of your arrest.
Mm-hmm.
When you do look back at that version of yourself, like, what do you feel?
That'll never be a topic that's like that doesn't like, obviously I feel like a lump in my throat because it's just such a hard time in my life. And so I never really even think about me in that situation. Obviously it's like my kids because they were involved, right? Of like, they were in the house and the charges were all dropped. I never had hurt my daughter. I never intentionally did anything with my children. I never have ever. And so that was like the hardest time just because like I am such a passive mom and like really good to my kids. So to be known as something like that was like, that is like the worst time. But in that moment that we see on screen, I see a lot of pain. And I didn't have any tools at that time. So I was like very lost. And I remember you can hear it on the tape. And I'm like, they're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, I'm in so much pain inside. And I'm literally like, it's on the tape. Like, I'm crying because he's like, what? He's like acting like I'm like hurt. He's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, there's so much pain. There's so much pain. I can't. I guess I never even look at it for me like the time. And that's why I've held guilt. It's just like, because I could have been like, my therapist is like, you were trying your best with what you knew you had. I never been through anything like that. So I didn't have the tools. And they were like, but you have to give yourself grace because you didn't know and you didn't have it. And I was like, but you could have, they're like, so you did the best that you can. And they're telling me this in therapy. But I'm like, no, I wasn't though. I wasn't for my kids. Like, I think I was being very selfish and I've accepted that I was selfish at that time, but I've learned from it. And I've been trying to, make up for it. And obviously immense amounts of therapy and tools and learning and made up time with my kids and having to, deny a lot of opportunities and it's because I want to be with my kids. Like I did have a lot of time of grieving and loss that I don't want any more wasted time for my kids. They're only small for so long. So that is a hard topic and just due to the what we all know about it, but that was one of my lowest nights on freaking TV and it's embarrassing but with that has come a lot of learning lessons and I've become a better mom because of it, because in my next relationship and even just the one like the little dating that I've done, it's just like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to go on a date. I want to sit here and I want to ride bikes with my kids tonight. And that's what I'm choosing because that is to me what feels like I should be doing on my days. That's what I should have been doing. It was a lesson learned.
I mean, I see it, the amount of pain that still lives in you. But I also think we just keep seeing your growth, even if it's not glamorous. Like,
yeah. And having to talk about it. Yeah, it's not easy. And there's no right answer on that other than I've tried to learn from it.
There was obviously also the whole controversy over the swinging parties that you and your ex-husband would go to became the biggest conversation at the time online. Do you have any worries about how the men this season might perceive that situation?
Yeah. See, that one's also another hard one because, they can have their preconceived assumptions and their families and their parents will probably also, like, it's not like, I don't know, like, right, if their parents were to read it, they'd be like, oh, well, be careful, be safe. Like, that's, But again, if they've followed anything or the journey, or they go look at my Instagram, whatever, there has been such progress too that it's just like not who I am anymore. It was 3 years ago. It was a very short-lived, learning lesson. That's another one I've learned, right? Don't open your marriage because it didn't end well. And if you have an open marriage, great. If you have your system down, great. I don't judge on that either because obviously I tried it, but it didn't work out, and I don't think it would ever be healthy for me. And I think when you're really in love with someone, you're probably not wanting to share them. So obviously there were lots of issues in the marriages, and I would never do that again. And also even put my foot in a position, right? I think things start very innocently and not meant to be like that, or you didn't think it would get to this, or any of that. So for me, another thing is just even friendship boundaries of like with men, right? I have very like fine lines of things that I would not ever, say, or a long conversation anymore. Like there are just a lot of things that I would never even put myself in the position to be even alluded to that or anything like it. So another learning lesson. Oh no.
I am going to describe a man to you.
Okay.
And you are going to tell me if you would give him a rose.
Okay.
Okay. He's a hopeless romantic, but he trauma dumps during your one-on-one.
I would give a rose. Yeah. Trauma dumping. I mean, sometimes that's how you get to know someone. And I feel like what I do is also explain my story, and my story is a trauma dump. So I'm going to have to do that. So I would expect that also. So, and we have limited time. So rose.
I was going to say, like, maybe in the real world, if it's the first date, you're like, whoa, but you have this guy may be like, this is the only one-on-one I'm going to get for weeks. I'm taking my shot. I got to let her know where I'm coming from. So I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. He's extremely supportive of your career, but won't be in your TikToks.
No rose. That's my life. That's my job. Like, if you don't want to, okay. Yeah, no rose.
You're like, absolutely not. Get in here and do the renegade.
Not only that, okay, not to maybe that extent, but like, I do a lot of family vlogging, and that's like what I share, and that's my kids, and I want him to be in my family. And if I have to like blur out him, I'm like, duh, I want to show him off.
Do the women of Mom Talk need to approve of him?
I mean, I do what I want, so no. I would like their opinion. Tell me what you think, but if you say no and I still love him, I'm going with him. Sorry.
Perfect. Okay, he's protective of you, but gets jealous on group dates.
Rose.
Are you the jealous type?
I wasn't, and then I was, and now I kind of am. Yes, but I don't want to be like the crazy jealous type. I'm like, ooh, like kind of jealous, but I don't want to be possessive ever.
He got your first rose, probably from doing the strip tease.
Oh gosh.
But he has drama with the other guys.
Rose, because it could be like an alpha thing where men are like, they don't like him already, because it's kind of like the Maria of the group, right? Like a lot of girls just didn't like her because she was like thriving and living her best life, and she's like, why do you guys not like me? And I'm like, yeah, why don't you guys not like her? Like, she's awesome.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
Okay, he has an amazing personality, but physically he isn't your type.
Rose.
Do you think that physical connection can build over time?
Absolutely. Yeah. But I have fallen for people that like, not fallen, but like liked people that aren't my type. And then, okay, for example, I'll just say within the swinging thing, like the one that I ended up liking was the one that everyone was like, I would have had no idea you liked him. So like in everyone's, it's just, you can surprise yourself sometimes.
Your children love him, but your mom hates him.
Yeah, that's a hard one. My mom doesn't hate a lot of people, so if she's hating him, that to me is her intuition is off, which would kind of nerve me out. So that'd be a hard one. If my mom's hating him, I probably would not.
Are you planning on introducing your kids to any of the men?
I would like to. I thought about this, and I think the last runner-ups, I don't know if it's like a 2 or 3 how it ends up for me, but Yeah, I think that's very important. I want to see how they interact with kids. I want to see if they all kind of vibe, or if they even like it, or are they comfortable, or is this like, oh, like maybe it scares them and like, oh, maybe I was ready, but now that I'm surrounded by 3 little kids, I don't know if I can do this. So I think that's a tester in itself. So yeah, I think, and I will always obviously introduce them as like very like surface based, like not like this is gonna be your daddy type thing, like very surface of like just trying to get to know them, but I want to see how they interact. Yeah, absolutely.
And you said that you would be down for a man who has kids of his own. Mm-hmm. Do you think that would be a plus? Like, do you think that would make someone stand out more, or it's like not something you're like looking for, but you're so down if they have it?
The second one, probably not like per se looking for, but if you have them, great. It's not like a deal breaker at all.
Okay, talk to me about hometowns. What are you most nervous for when it comes to hometowns?
Meeting their moms.
You're like, hey, girl.
Hey, I am.
What? She's like the biggest Secret Lives fan.
I didn't even think about that part, actually. Because what if they only like it because of the show? They don't even like me. They're like, oh, hell yeah, just the show. I didn't even think about that. Or
like
the
asking
sisters.
You for tea. Oh, my, the sisters.
Like the sisters are actually the scary one. Yeah. Yes. Those are scarier than the moms sometimes, I think. Honestly, they're protective.
Do you feel like you're good with parents, or are you? Okay.
I am great with parents, and they always love me until they don't. And that's just given the circumstances. I'm sure you can assume that obviously there were hard issues there, but yes, they usually like me.
How would you handle falling in love with someone and then at hometowns you realize that you don't get along with his family?
That would be a first for me. I've never dated someone that I did not vibe with their family. Never.
Would it be a deal breaker?
I mean, I think for them, maybe. Well, yeah, if they don't like me, I can't like convince you to like me. So, but no, not if he loved me. No.
Would you need your parents' approval in order for you to accept an engagement?
I don't need their approval. I would want them, obviously. I want their advice on it, but no. If I fall in love with someone and they're like not obsessed with him, it's not up to them. So I hate to say it, but they're not the ones who have to end up with it's me. And my mom always says that we're not the ones who end up with them. It's your choice. And so I like that, even if they're not fans. But obviously, looking at my past, maybe I should listen to my parents too.
Okay, well, last season on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, your family barbecue, we watched your parents essentially side with your ex, Dakota, a little bit. How has that impacted the way that you share your personal life with them?
It actually grew our family closer together. I don't know if it was like a reflection that they watched, and my dad has become very, just very extra caring, and like he'll check in on me, and he like, I don't know if it just like, maybe he watched it on TV and it really stuck with him and was like, whoa, like maybe I should, a reflection of like, he hasn't said it. I can almost feel it. Like he's really been great and so loving. And I think I will say maybe it touched him in a way of like, I did not even realize. And same thing with my mom. She's actually like, they've just changed since and for the better. And I don't know if it was like, I saw myself and I didn't know the extent, or maybe I just wasn't listening to you and you wanted to be heard. I don't know what it was, but things have really changed and we've been so close ever since. Wow.
So you didn't have a conversation, but after it aired, you can feel they shifted.
Oh, no, we had I mean, we all cried during it. Like It was a very hard scene. It's so real, so raw. Like, and I think there were so many heightened emotions. Obviously, yes, you see a lot of our lives, but you don't see every piece of it. So there was a lot going on right at the time. And I'm postpartum. It is very heightened, And so, I mean, that very night, my dad came up to me and like hugged me and said, I'm so sorry. Like, I love you. And obviously that wasn't even, we weren't on camera, So it's like things like that people don't see. But my family is so supportive. Like, they are like my ride or die crew and they would do anything for me. And I don't know if people realize that, but they would. Are they harsh? Yes. Have we had family fights? Yes. That is normal.
Every family
I don't know
does.
If that's normal, but for us, it's normal.
Yeah.
And we bicker and fight, and we've had plenty. And sometimes we're all yelling at each other, and we go home and we're mad. And the next day, we love each other. It's family.
Totally.
So,
okay. Yeah. If you're getting engaged, have you thought about what kind of ring you want?
No, I'm so simple. You can Amazon it for me.
Stop, Taylor.
I'm not even. Maybe okay. I'm not going to do that because it sets.
Don't put that into the world. No.
I just cut that out.
Cut that.
I'm just so simple. I'm so simple, and so I I don't want anything crazy extravagant. I'll probably lose it, to be honest. So like maybe too cheap that I could
make sure you get insurance, whoever you are, insurance, and a backup fake one that she can wear out.
Yes. Okay. That and when it comes to materialistic things like that, I am not big on, like, or I'm not picky on. It's not about even the ring, it's the symbol, it's the meaning. Okay. That's what matters.
You're down for whatever cut, whatever style. Okay, love that for you. What are you most excited about heading into filming?
Excited? I don't know. It's so surreal. I think is my husband popping out of a limo here in a month, right? Like I have to think about that. Is this like, am I getting engaged like to one of these men? Like, do I come home with a man? Isn't that crazy?
It's about to go down. Your life is about to change.
Change.
Forever.
You
also have season 3 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives coming out this fall.
Yes.
I know we have to be tight-lipped because we have to wait, but can you tell us anything about it?
It is a closure to a chapter of my life, but like it's like almost like a cliffhanger of like what happens next because there is some like a chapter closing.
Okay, we're going to end with some Secret Lives rapid fire.
Oh, gosh.
Who was the biggest villain of season 2?
Oh, I mean, Demi. We all knew that.
Yeah. And what is your current relationship with her?
We're fine. We're good now. Yeah, she got very humbled, which was, I said, sometimes that's great. I've been there, Demi. I've been there. I've been very on the other side. So I know what you're feeling. I know what that's like. I know what it's like also to see yourself and be like, whoa, take a step back. What could I have done differently? I still do that. I do that to this very day all the time. And she was very humbled. She apologized. And so it's like, you can only, when someone's trying to be better, okay. Yeah. That's all you can do.
Why do you think she actually didn't go to the reunion?
Probably because there was a lot of heat. I mean, Disneyland's great, but like, there was probably a lot of heat and she wasn't ready for it.
Who in the cast are you currently the closest to?
Probably Macy, Michaela, Jesse. Like, we kind of do more things together. Yeah.
Do you think you know the truth of what happened at Vanderpump Villa?
I don't think I know, and I don't think anyone who's to say if will ever know.
Are Jesse and Jordan still together?
As far as I know.
Okay. What are 3 words you would use to describe the current state of mom talk?
Cordial. Maybe a little confused. And hyped. There's a lot coming.
Has anyone left mom talk since the reunion?
No.
Okay, last question. What do you want viewers to know about you tuning into this season of The Bachelorette? There may be some people that are going to become new fans. There may be some already existing fans that are going to see you in a different light. What do you want them to take from all of this?
Well, more so if they're like, I know they're maybe a newer fan base. So if you don't know me, maybe just like a fair shot at maybe what you've heard about me, you've seen, maybe, yeah, just a fair shot as anyone else. And I am learning as anyone else, and I've more self-aware. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've learned, honestly, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I, as well, don't know how I am here, but I'm thankful, and I can only just say thank you to everyone who's ever supported me and been here from the beginning, even through all the ugly, and stuck by me and saw this through and not just judge me and was like, she sucks. And maybe there are, and that came back through of like learning lessons, because all you can do when someone is messing up, learn from it and do better. You don't have to stay in that hole of becoming worse and worse. You can come out.
I am so fucking excited to watch the season of The Bachelorette. I am so happy. Sorry if anyone was looking forward to it. I'm happy it's not a guy. You are the best surprise. I think people are going to actually fucking shit themselves when they see this announcement. They're gonna be like, there's no fucking way. There's no way Taylor Frankie Paul is about to be the Bachelorette.
Hey, can I also say though that with everything I just said, still probably mistakes coming. I'm like obviously like
we want the messy Taylor. I don't want you to go in there and be like,
I'm kind of I'm chaos too. Like obviously there's no secret
we want
with that. And so like obviously like I'm trying to do better, but I still to this day I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
girl, if there is not chaos and messiness when you date 20 plus
there's no such thing. There's no such thing with
how
me.
would
there's
you
no such thing.
Bring that same energy to the Bachelorette and we're all gonna love it. Seriously.
I unfortunately naturally do that, so it's fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on Call Her Daddy. I cannot wait to see if you have a ring on your finger in a couple months. And good luck.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor to be here. You're amazing. And honestly, I look up to you because I feel like you came out of a taboo thing and you were just like, here it is. You talked about topics that's what got people's attention because you were saying things that no one talked about. Yeah, or wanted to admit, and you got them to say it. And here you are today. So congrats to you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you. Good luck.
Thank you.
What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
Are we ready? Okay. That laugh. I'm like, I know it so well. It's like so weird to be in person with you now. Okay. Kristen Cavallari, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thank you.
I have always been a huge fan. Laguna, The Hills, owned all the DVDs, would watch with my sister, would binge watch. But another reason I was super excited to have you on was because I follow you on social media.
Oh, thanks.
I respect everything you're doing, your career, but specifically with your children, you deciding to not really show them and keep that part of their life private. I mean, I really respect it.
Thanks.
How did you decide to take that approach and protect your children by keeping them off social media?
Well, thank you, because a lot of people don't understand it. But if you go back to when I first joined Instagram, Camden, my oldest, is on there when he was a baby, a little bit.
Okay.
And then we just decided that we wanted to give them the opportunity to make that decision. My kids may want no part of being known or whatever, and I want to respect that and give them that chance to decide when they're old enough.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a huge debate on social media because so many people with social media are posting even like their infants.
Yeah.
And then there's the debate of like, wait, that's kind of fucked up because they don't have a say and now their whole life is going to be documented and then they're going to get to high school and people are going to be like, I have all these Instagram photos of you. But I think it's a really good decision and I definitely want to do that when I have children. When do you think they'll get on social media?
I hope not until they're like 20.
You're like, I'm not giving them a phone.
They're never going to be. 16, I'd say is probably realistic and long enough where hopefully they have decently thick skin and can handle some criticism, because ultimately like that's my biggest concern with it is just how nasty people can be on social media.
Ruthless.
So yeah, and when it's your kids, it's like, I want to do everything to protect them.
Daddy Gang, my main business goal for the rest of the year is to consolidate, streamline, and just honestly make things easier for myself as I continue to grow my business. And the way that I approach this is by having all of the right tools in one place to maximize my efficiency. So you already know what it is. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Shopify. Let's all channel the back to school energy that September brings us naturally. There is no better time to get organized and to start fresh. Even though I'm literally not in school anymore, I still have that ingrained in me, right? Whether it is launching that side hustle that you've been dreaming about or finally upgrading your current business, Shopify makes it so easy for any business owner to hit the ground running. With everything in one platform, you can plan your next drop, manage your inventory, and sell online or in person without missing a beat. Maybe it's just you with your business. Absolutely no problem. Shopify basically operates as your back office, replacing the need for a full staff to oversee your operations so that you can stay focused on all the things that really require your attention. I personally use Shopify to run my business. And what I love, truly, truly love most about it is the simplicity. Shopify is so easy to use, which takes away all this like guessing and wasting time trying to figure out how to navigate a platform. They do it for me. The dashboard is sleek, clean, and uncluttered. It makes it really easy for me to track sales, explore customer demographics, and update whatever is needed for my last drop. Shopify keeps the business side tight so I can stay focused on the stuff that I really care about, which is making these gorgeous episodes for you guys. Whether you're wanting to test out an idea or you're getting serious about launching your own brand, it has never been easier to get started. Shopify.com/daddy. Daddy gang, this is your sign. Start the business today. There was no social media when you were growing up, but I'm curious, did you have aspirations at all to be on television?
I did, and it wasn't really until high school, but before MTV came, I wanted to study broadcast journalism and kind of work my way in the entertainment world through hosting. But then MTV came and everything just kind of fell in my lap, and I thought, well, when I graduated high school, I moved up to LA. I started at Loyola Marymount. I literally went to one class. And then I booked a job on UPN, which you guys probably don't even remember that network, but it was a network back in the day. I was hosting a show. Oh, wow. And so my excuse was, well, I'm traveling around the country. I obviously can't go to college. And not that I want to like promote not going to college, but it's the best thing I ever could have done. College would have done nothing for me.
Right, because you already kind of had a career set in stone because you started in high school, which is like not normal, especially for like television. Yeah. You're in high school. Now we got to go through it. Okay. And MTV picks you to be on their new show. Yeah. What did your parents say when you asked them if you could be on the show?
Well, so I was living with my dad in Laguna Beach. My mom was in a suburb of Chicago. My mom definitely had reservations because at the time, MTV was a little scandalous at the time. That was right after the Janet Jackson boob thing happened at the Super Bowl. And they didn't have the best rep. And so she was a little worried, but my dad was all for it. And because I lived with my dad, I'm pretty sure I only had to have my dad sign off on it.
You're like, Mom, I'm not even doing it,
Sorry,
Dad.
Mom.
Why do you think your dad was okay with it?
I think he saw the opportunity, I mean, he just did. And well, also, none of us knew what the show was going to turn into. No. My dad probably at the time was like, oh, cute, a little home movie, no problem, have fun.
Wait, it literally probably was like a school project, Dad.
No,
it just
literally.
happens to be from MTV. And it's crazy because reality TV really, like, no one had gotten famous from that yet. Yeah. So it was kind of like an undiscovered concept. So I can kind of understand why parents would be like, sure.
Yeah, it wasn't like it is today. No one knew, I mean, totally. Obviously there was The Real World at the time. Mm-hmm. I think The Simple Life had already happened and maybe The Osbourne Show, but other than that, there was nothing really. Totally. So yeah, this was uncharted territory. We had no idea.
I'm trying to picture myself in high school getting cast on a show. I would have failed out. I would have dropped out.
No
because,
way.
Dude,
you would have been
how
like
did
me.
you?
No, you would have fucking crushed it.
Sure, that's the point though. I would have been like, I'm obsessed. I get to go party with boys. Like, how the fuck did
that
it
was me.
Okay, I was wondering, like, did it fully take over your life?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that, yes. I mean, that was like what everyone in Laguna Beach was talking about. We filmed every weekend for like 9 months or something. But because we were still in high school, I mean, I was actually going to class still. And so during the weeks, my life was normal. I was going to school, doing whatever I was doing. And then we would film, I think sometimes Thursdays, but mostly Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
When you came out, did people that were in your school that weren't on the show treat you guys like different?
So what happened was the first season, everybody auditioned, right? Everyone did. Well, and then when those people didn't get it, fuck MTV, blah, that whole thing. And then those people were on season 2. And I was like, oh, really?
Right.
Fuck MTV, huh? That pissed me off. But I mean, it's understandable. Totally. And then when it aired, the first season aired, I was a senior in high school. Talon and I were. Everyone else graduated, went on to school. That was the one time the freshmen coming in looked at me a little differently. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, this is weird.
You talked about the fact that your relationship with your dad was hard to heal in therapy. When you were growing up, what was that core issue between the two of you?
Well, my dad wasn't around a lot, to be honest. We were living in Connecticut before my parents got a divorce, and my dad had moved to Colorado. I think I saw him maybe like once a month, like for a while. And then in Colorado is when my parents got a divorce, and my dad shortly thereafter moved to Laguna Beach, and I was still in Colorado. Then my mom got remarried, and I moved to Chicago. And then my freshman year of high school is when I moved to Laguna, moved in with my dad, my stepmom, who was 20 years younger than my dad, and my brother at the time, who had also been broken up with. Okay. He moved to Laguna when I moved to Chicago. And honestly, my dad and I were just never close. Mm-hmm. And I just remember in high school, I never wanted to be home. Like, I just never wanted to be around that environment. So that's why I think I fell into like friendships a lot and going out. I was kind of the party girl, and I was just, that's where I found connections.
Did you want to move to Laguna?
I sort of had to, because I was getting in so much trouble in Chicago, and I had a major issue with my stepbrother, and like all of the pieces just fell into place for me to move. My mom wanted to ship me off to boarding school, and my dad said, let me give it a go. Let me see if I can control this wild beast. So I moved to Laguna my freshman year of high school, and honestly, the best thing that's ever happened to me.
What were you confident about in high school, and what were you insecure about?
Well, it's funny because on Laguna Beach, everyone thought I was this super confident kid. Mm-hmm. And now that I've had to go back and watch the episodes for my podcast, I don't see a confident girl at all. I see actually someone who's incredibly insecure. That saying, confidence is quiet, insecurity is loud. Well, I was that, I was overcompensating for my insane amount of insecurity. And so I think most kids are a mess. Most high school kids, you don't know the fuck you are at 17 years old. But I think really probably because I didn't have a family member in my life that I was really close to. My mom now is my best friend, but at the time we were not close. Mm-hmm. Wasn't living with her. I never wanted to be home. So I think that was probably a large part of it for me.
That is really interesting, because I think like watching it back, sometimes when you're in your head about whatever your insecurity is for you, you're like, I kind of feel like I'm alone out here doing my fucking thing. Yeah. You kind of just have to fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
Was there anything when you were social with your peers that you were insecure about?
No, I mean, that's really where I kind of found my identity, I think. And so I moved around a lot growing up. And I think because I was always the new girl, I was a survivor. Like, you could throw me in any situation and I was going to figure it out. I knew how to navigate through situations. That's maybe where like the confidence came from, because I wasn't someone who's going to like, crawl in the corner and suffer. I was like, boom, here I am, let's go. But I was faking it though.
That makes so much sense. I can completely relate to that, where you're like, I'm about to walk in this room and I have two options. Yeah. And so sometimes being like the loud one, it just gets you in the door, and it immediately, if you exude confidence, eventually you're going to fucking be confident.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you had to guess, who would you be now if the MTV cameras never showed up to your high school?
Oh my God, I love that question. I mean, I think, wow. If I was never on Laguna Beach, I probably would have gone to school and, studied broadcast journalism. Mm-hmm. Hopefully would have worked my way in still. I don't know. I feel like in a lot of ways, I probably wouldn't be as far along on my journey as I am today, because ultimately being on TV at such a young age and going through everything I've gone through over the years has really forced me to grow up a lot, I think. Mm-hmm. The older we get, we realize life is building blocks and everything starts to make sense. And so I feel like just everything that I've been through, like, I feel like this was supposed to be my journey. Totally. So I can't, it's hard to sit here and be like, well, if not, because I just feel like I was destined for this.
I think a lot of people are fascinated because, like you said, high school is hard enough. Like, high school is such an awkward time. You're trying to figure out who the fuck you are. You're dealing with peer dynamics, family dynamics. How did it feel? And I think this is where we all are so fascinated with it, because it's really not natural to have grown-ups with cameras in your face. Like, I feel like your scenes were always like you chilling in bed with Alex in the morning, like discussing what happened the night before. But it's like, how did it feel having these grown-ups come into your life, stir up drama, and kind of like manipulate these storylines to get a good show going when you're in high school?
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic when you really explain it like that. I mean, my whole life I had trust issues, but then really when you're 17, 18 and you have adults taking advantage of you and manipulating situations and in a lot of ways just straight up lying to your face. I mean, that'll rock your boat for sure. Trust is like my biggest issue with people. And so that obviously didn't help that situation. And now that I'm older and I've been on the other side of reality shows, like Very Cavallari, I was an executive producer, which was the best thing for me to end my reality TV career with that experience, because it left a really good taste in my mouth. But it was also really eye-opening to be involved in those conversations of like, oh, these are the storylines we're getting. And no matter what you do, they're going to get the storyline they want. So I understand from a producer's perspective, now that I'm an adult, why they do the things they do. They have a job to do. I get all of that. I just think it's a tricky thing when you're dealing with children. I mean, we were kids, you know, that's where it's like, it's tough.
It's really tough because in one part, it became one of the biggest shows. And then on the other end, it's like, yo, you're in high school. That's your life. Yeah. When you say they would lie to your face, can you give us an example of something you remember?
Well, so I look at Laguna Beach and the Hills as two very different experiences. Laguna Beach was more just, no one really ever told us what was going on or like what they were trying to do, you know? No one prepared us for what was coming. I just remember one producer in particular, before it aired, saying, well, you know, you can definitely tell that you're not from Laguna Beach. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, what does that mean? And then it came out and I was like, oh, you mean because everyone's going to fucking hate me? And this is so not who I am. You know, but like, I don't know, a bigger heads up would have been nice. How much you guys fucked with me. That kind of stuff.
When you say fucked with you, are you saying like they really leaned in to try to make you that villain role?
Oh, yeah. And that's why I've really loved doing the Back to the Beach podcast with Steven, because we literally go through scene by scene and break it down. And it's been therapeutic for me. It's been eye-opening. It's been really fun also just to break it all down, because I'm not emotionally invested in it anymore. Where at the time, I remember Steven being like, that's not how it went down. But I couldn't hear him or believe him because I was so upset about it. And so, yeah, being able to go back and watch it and just get to the bottom of it, I've loved every second of it.
When you realize, like, wait, I look like the villain in this, what the fuck did that do to you mentally?
I was pretty wrecked for a while. I was so upset. I was really upset when I saw the first episode. It was hard.
It was you and Lauren Conrad. Essentially, the first premise was like you guys fighting over a guy.
Yeah.
Did you and Lauren... Was it really only over Steven, or were you two just two personalities that probably would have always butt heads regardless of if a guy was involved?
Well, we were never friends, but we never fought or anything, you know? And so MTV coming definitely made it a way bigger thing than it ever was.
Yeah.
And Lauren and Steven did have something, but it was before MTV came. And then, of course, MTV caught wind of that. That was like the only thing they focused on. And in a lot of ways, tried to keep it alive. And that was where I felt really threatened. And so I put up walls. I was all I knew how to do at age 17.
Totally.
And so, yeah, it goes back to that thing where I was always a survivor. And so if I felt like, you know, threatened and people were like coming after something that was mine, AKA my boyfriend or whatever it was, I was going to get scrappy. I mean, that's just what I knew how to do.
I have had many of your now castmates on.
I've heard.
And being on Laguna Beach and the Hills and getting to like directly interact with Adam DeVello, what was your experience with him?
I mean, it was... It was never great. I had my issues with Adam, without a doubt. And again, I mean, I kind of said it earlier, but I understand now as an adult why he did the things he did. It's not that I agree with them, but I mean, he had a job to do. I think my biggest issue with what Adam did was he would create these storylines on the show that were bullshit, but then he would go and feed them to the tabloids. So not only are you living this shit on the show, but then I'm having to answer questions in the tabloids and people are painting this picture of me, which isn't true at all. And again, I get it because the tabloids fueled the show. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's all fine. It's all worked out. But I had my issues with Adam for sure. I don't think he's a good person, but I think he's a great producer. I'm actually kind of upset though, because Steven and I were supposed to have him on our podcast and he, you know, had us going around and around and around. And then 2 days before we were supposed to film, he pulled out. And it's just shitty because A, you could have told us up front, and B, he totally opened up my career, right? Started my career. But we also started his career. Like, without the cast of season 1 of Laguna Beach, Adam wouldn't be what he is either. So I just felt like, why can't you come on? It's a mutual respect thing. Answer some questions about how the show was created, and we'll call it a day.
You kind of made him, because he had like the format, but if you guys didn't show the fuck up and do your iconic scenes, like there was not going to be a huge media mogul moment for MTV in that category. So it's like, Spencer did talk about what happened with Heidi. Mm-hmm. Did you know about that? And do you know?
No, because that was before I had come on the show. Mm-hmm. My issue with him was a bribing situation and him creating this storyline that I was doing drugs and was out of control. I partied my ass off in my early 20s. I had a really good time. I don't regret anything. I was never out of control. It was never cause for concern. I was never not showering, which is like what Us Weekly had said, that I needed to go to rehab and all this shit. And so that wasn't cool.
I remember that.
Yeah, he bribed the girls to call me out on camera for doing drugs with a purse. So, but, and that was difficult. And Adam and I got in a huge fight about it. And because what I was doing then, because then he fueled it to Us Weekly, I would be on camera filming and I'd be like, I know it was Adam, like going around just running my mouth.
Right.
And Adam called me and he was like, you have to stop saying that. I was like, but you did.
Well, that's also fucked. And I think that's where I think it's fair for you guys. You're not discrediting the show. Even you sit here and you're saying, great producer. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
But I do think it's fair to clear your name, because I was going to ask you that about, like, there was that huge stint I remember with The Hills where it was like, she's on drugs, she's spun out, and they like got you when you like just woke up, and they were, the girls were like trying to have an intervention. And I was like, is Kristen really on drugs?
Intervention.
And that fucks with you, because your kids are going to watch that one day.
Yeah.
Like, and so I think it's fair for you to be able to at least clear your fucking name with the drugs.
I partied. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I never did. I had a lot of fun. And I'm glad that I did. I got everything out of my system. But it was never, I never needed rehab. No one in my life was concerned about me. Like, it was totally under control.
I love that.
If you can be a partier that's under control. But so, and I just hope that Lo learned you always have to get that shit in writing, you know? Because she never got her purse.
She didn't?
No.
Stop. What kind of purse was it?
I don't even remember. I want to say it was a Birkin. It was a
Shut
Birkin.
the
Yeah,
fuck
it was a Birkin.
up.
Yeah, but you got to get that shit in writing.
Absolutely. I would have been like, give it to me first and then I'll show up.
Exactly.
Damn, no Birkin for Lo.
Sorry, girl.
And no rehab for Kristen.
Hope it was worth it.
When you look back, young Kristen is like in that moment, cameras around. What were the perks of having this show in your life? And then what was like the most negative part that you look back on now with perspective?
I mean, the perks were, it was fun. I would get phone calls being in, whatever class during senior year, and MTV would be like, hey, can you fly to New York tonight to be on TRL tomorrow? I'm like, yes, absolutely. Like, that stuff is fun, I mean, so there was a lot of cool things, going to the MTV VMAs and all of that stuff was really fun. I mean, I was still in high school, so it's not like I was getting great dinner reservations and stuff, but when I graduated high school and I moved up to LA, like I never waited in a line at a club or a restaurant. Like it was fun. It was very, very fun. And then the biggest downfall, I'd say, and well, I guess, okay, more so back in the day, was the tabloid world, that aspect of it. Now, I'm not so much in the tabloids like I was back in the day, but what I don't like now is every time I feel like I do an interview, like what they'll take nothing and turn it into headlines for clickbait. And that shit really pisses me off still. Like, I just did another podcast and we were talking about dating, and I guess we were talking about Instagram, and I said that I only noticed the verified ones because they go to the top.
Of
I'm
course.
not like, and we were like joking around. So now all these fucking articles are like, Kristen's using Instagram as a dating app, and it's like, no, I'm not. That's not what I was saying. Yeah.
Right. No, I totally get that, like the spinning of the words, and it almost makes you like not want to do shit.
It makes me not want to talk.
Which I think you do love to talk, though.
I know, but I feel like in the last few years, I don't talk as much because I'm not, people probably don't know this about me. They probably think I love all the attention. I actually don't, unless it's for something positive like my company, like Uncommon James or something. Then I'm like, all right, that's great. But I don't care about being in the press or the tabloids. I really don't.
I can't believe I finally get to say this. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Stouffer's. You don't even understand. Daddy Gang, let me set the scene for you, okay? It is 6 o'clock. You get home after a long, stressful day of work and you feel like you can't make one more decision, right? You're burnt out, you're tired, but you realize you're starving. It is dinner time, but even just thinking about what to make feels so overwhelming, okay? The fridge is empty, obviously. The idea of cooking sounds miserable and all you want is something easy, delicious, and satisfying. That is where Stouffer's comes in hot, literally. When the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's, because that is literally what I did my entire childhood, okay? Dinner dread is real, and as someone who hates to cook, figuring out what to make or even just to like order, I don't need that stress in my life. I really don't. I cannot tell you how many times I've been so grateful to come home. I open the freezer, boom, Stouffer's, boom, which one do I want, okay? Whether it's a slow night or a night in with Matt, Stouffer's has been my favorite tasty meal since day one. Shout out to my mother. She and I would eat the mac and cheese. That was like a weekly staple. Their lasagna is actually incredible. Oh my God, the Swedish meatballs, my favorite. Oh my God, the turkey and mashed potatoes with the gravy. Oh my God, the turkey tetrazzini, you guys. Stouffer's delivers big on flavor with great ingredients in every single frozen meal. For nearly 100 years, it has been the dependable choice for bringing friends and family together so we all can spend less time cooking and more time enjoying the moment. So skip the chaos, cancel the internal dinner debate, and solve dinner dread with Stouffer's. Shop now at your nearest retailer today. Stouffer's, I love you. Is MTV paying for everyone's therapy?
They should be, but no.
They didn't offer.
No. And actually, Steven told me on our podcast that they gave him a speech coach. And I'm like, really? Because I probably needed one out of everybody. And they didn't offer me that.
They offered him. Wait, back when he was in Laguna?
Yes. Yeah.
Did he need a speech coach?
I didn't think so. I did. I'm like, that would have gone against the character they wanted me to be.
Right, like rough around the edges,
Yeah.
like wild Kristen.
Yeah.
How do you think having your first relationship, like serious first love and relationship, air on TV impacted your future relationships?
Oh, I don't think my relationship being on camera affected my future relationships. I think just being in the press then affected my future relationships. And again, it goes back to that whole trust thing. Unfortunately, I've had to be careful with guys that I date because a lot of guys, or what I have found is a few different things. They get a little taste of fame and they lose their mind. They become addicted to it almost. Or it's really threatening for a lot of guys. So then they get really jealous and insecure about it. So that's been really tricky for me.
Wait, when you say they get addicted, like how can you immediately tell like, oh fuck, he's turned?
It takes me a second.
Right.
You can just tell, like, or what I can't fucking stand is when a guy will plant breadcrumbs. You know that saying?
Yeah.
On Instagram. Like I dated a guy, I dated a guy who would come to Nashville and he would like tag the location. And I'm like, why? You've never tagged a location in your life. Why are you now? That shit I can't stand.
Because it's so purposeful. Like he's looking to kind of be like, I hope this gets picked up by someone and I hope there's an article. Like, are they seeing each other?
Like you're disgusting to me.
You're like, I don't even know you that well. We're trying to get to know each other. Like before we actually start dating, like chill the fuck out.
Or what I've noticed, if it's not about the guy, the attention, they do not like that. So then they're like, oh, you know, like, totally
their ego
I'm like,
is
it's because it's not about you.
So you married someone that was famous and was in the public eye. How did you meet Jay Cutler?
So I got a call from my publicist in 2009 when I was still filming The Hills. And he said, Jay Cutler wants to fly you to Chicago and take you on a date. And I had no idea who he was. And I just wasn't interested, quite honestly. So I said no. I obviously told my mom about it, though, because a year later I was visiting my mom, who lives in a suburb of Chicago. And we were going to a Bears preseason game with my cousin for actually my friend Matt Leinart, who was playing on the opposing team. And my mom said, you know, didn't Jay Cutler ask you out? And I was like, oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that. My cousin, who is like the biggest Bears fan, told me what an idiot I am. So long story short, I got his family passes to meet him after the game, thinking I would never talk to Jay ever again. And, you know, but my cousin would be like over the moon about it. And he walked in and he was a lot cuter in person. And we hung out 2 nights later. And then honestly, we just moved so fast. I mean, we got engaged after 8 months and it just moved.
What initially attracted you to him?
So at the time, I remember my life felt very claustrophobic living in LA. I couldn't leave my house without a million paparazzi every day, and I just was over it. Every guy in LA I felt like was a little bitch, to be completely honest. And I wanted someone who could like be the alpha, because I felt like everything in my life, I was always the alpha. So I wanted to be in the passenger seat for once. Jay checked all of those boxes. And honestly, we just had chemistry. Like, you can't pick and choose who you like, you know what I'm saying? Totally. And so we just had that spark. Totally. And yeah, so with where I was at the time in my life, he was perfect for me.
I wanted to discuss dating an athlete and marrying an athlete, because I've dated a lot of athletes, okay? Everyone knows I've dated a lot of athletes, had serious relationships, flings, whatever, and they're an interesting breed.
Yeah.
Was Jay your first professional athlete that you dated?
No. Mm-hmm. I have a few under my belt as well,
So you kind of already knew kind of the game.
Yeah.
You know, it helps when you have them under your belt, because you kind of know.
I get that world.
So well. You have like the whole playbook ready to go.
Like, musicians, fucking insane. I won't go near another one, but athletes, I could do that world.
Oh, yeah. They're all the fucking
I can do that shit in my sleep.
Absolutely. What were some of the perks of dating a pro athlete in your mind?
Well, in Chicago, I mean, he was a huge deal, you know? And so it was like, instead of me always having to get a dinner reservation, like, Jay could fucking do it. Like, dumb shit like that, though. But it mattered at the time. Life was just, it was easy and fun with him.
Totally.
You know?
Did you fit in with the other players' wives?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did.
See, I didn't as well, because they would want me to go to a luncheon or like
There's a lot of that shit, which I wasn't a fan of.
I couldn't do.
No, but like, yeah, we all got along.
You got along.
Yeah.
But maybe you weren't like at all the luncheons with like the big hat.
God, no, I don't think I went to a Bears luncheon until like my last season there with them. I was like,
Dude,
all right,
they would
I'll
always
go.
ask me, and I'd be like, ladies, I got to go to work.
Yeah,
and they'd be like, but we have a luncheon at noon on Wednesday.
Yeah, you're
I'm
like, sorry.
Yeah. No, but they are sweet. They are. So you got
what
along.
I found was most of them had been together since they were like 18.
So many of them.
Yeah.
And I guess I get it. And I think that's where maybe it was cool, because you had a different dynamic where like a lot of them try to stay with the people that knew them before they got big.
Right.
And you and Jay had a different dynamic because you both were big in your own right. So there could kind of be this just mutual, like, we both have our own things going on. That makes sense. What were some of the hardest aspects of being married to someone whose job is to play football?
Well, I mean, I love someone who has their own shit going on, so that was great. But I think the hardest part was watching him get the shit beat out of him week after week. You know, football's a really tough sport, and so that was difficult, especially after we had kids too. You know, then things just become even more serious. But other than that, loved the schedule, loved him traveling, loved him go. Like, please go do you know?
Yeah, I also feel like football is like one of the better schedules.
It's
like,
not bad at all.
Baseball, it's like, I'll see you never.
Bye. Also, that's why they have girlfriends in every city.
Every single city. They would always call it like road beef. And I was like, excuse me, why are you saying this in front of me? And my boyfriend's friends would always be like, our road beef in like Minnesota.
I dated a baseball player who actually sent flowers to me and one of my friends on Valentine's Day. I mean, this is so long ago, but yeah, I was like, oh, like, they have no shame. Cool.
No shame. They're like, what?
No, literally, and totally told me he had a girlfriend up in San Francisco. Like, I mean, oh yeah, I was like, oh, okay, well, hey, there's something about the honesty. Like, well,
wait, they're like, but like, she's my girlfriend in that city.
Yeah,
you're like,
you're here.
What?
Yeah. Why? No.
Did you ever worry about Jay's behavior on the road when he was gone?
I didn't. And that's why football is actually a good sport, because they're gone for one night. They have curfew the night before. It's the night before a game. As soon as the game's over, they get right on a plane and come home.
There's no room.
There's no, I mean, listen,
behavior.
they do, and they have, and they will continue to. But at the time, I didn't have any reason to suspect.
How did the dynamic of your marriage change once Jay retired?
I mean, it actually kind of didn't. And we started very cavalier right away. And so it didn't. He was just around a lot more.
Okay, so you guys were getting to spend more time.
A lot more time, yeah.
Initially, when you got engaged, you postponed the wedding. You said one of the reasons was you didn't want to be a stay-at-home wife. What made you think that you would have to be staying at home if you got married? I
mean, it was so much bigger than that, though. I think I probably said that at the time to like say something and move on. But basically, I called off the engagement the same reason I got a divorce. Same reasons, I should say. And so I guess if there's any takeaway from that, is you can't ignore red flags. People don't change, and you got to trust your gut. I was 23 when I met Jay. You know, I was a baby, and at the time in my life, getting married and having kids was the next natural step. I'd gotten everything out of my system, and I don't regret anything at all. And I really am thankful for our time together. But yeah, I just think, you know, now I'm so different dating. I see shit a mile away, and now it's like, no, I'm actually not going to put up with that. Because you know what it is now for me? It's a huge turn off. Instead of being like, oh, well, you know, maybe he'll change. Maybe we could fix him. It's like, nope. Goodbye. Totally. I don't have time for that anymore.
You say it wasn't because of loss of love that you guys got divorced, but because you couldn't be in a toxic relationship anymore. What was toxic about it?
So here's my only thing. Because I have 3 kids with him, I'm very careful about what I say. Totally. If you and I didn't have microphones in front of us, I'd fucking tell you. But, you know, that's their dad. And my oldest Googles us now. And I just want to be very careful. My mom never said anything bad about my dad growing up. And I really respected that. And I want to be that kind of mom. And even if I don't say anything, the headlines will say I fucking trashed him somehow. So I just, you know, it was toxic. I think period, end of story. That's all I kind of need to say.
When did your family and friends realize?
Forever.
They did?
Oh,
okay. Because I know sometimes you can like try to hide it because
actually, yeah, okay. I kind of hid it from some of my friends. My mom knew every step of the way, and my best friend Stephanie, who's in Chicago. But like Justin, my best friend, he didn't realize it until he moved to Nashville, and then he saw it firsthand.
When you get to a place where you are trying to hide stuff from your friends or your family, that's also a red flag for yourself.
Totally.
Of like, why aren't you telling your friends?
It's so true.
And then it's like to get out, and then it's almost harder once you're so deep in it by yourself that then to
you're
try
a
to
lone ranger just like on your own island.
And then you're like, how do I even tell my friends because I've been faking this for so long? But you're saying your family knew, so you weren't fully alone.
Yeah, my mom knew. And you know, because my mom went through some similar stuff with my dad. She was actually the perfect person for me to have because she understood what I was going through, and so that was good. I also think it's really important if you do have issues with your dad, for you know, obviously for girls especially, to work through that shit before you get married, because otherwise we end up with our dad.
When you think you have any fucking issues with just even like your family, your parents, that shit, if you don't work on that, you're about to turn right around and do the same fucking shit. Yeah. And so it can be a little bit of like a daunting process, but you have to work through it or you're going to marry your father.
Exactly.
When you are breaking up with someone, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Even if you...
No matter what side you're on.
No matter what side. Yeah. And what is worse, especially with social media, is like, it's hard to see someone move on.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel, or does it make you feel like if you still see, or if he's like out with other people, like...
I hope that he finds someone.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, I want him happy. Yeah. My kids benefit from that, you know? So I hope that he gets remarried, and I mean, I really do. Obviously, the first time I heard about it, it stung a little.
Yeah.
That's anybody, you know? But
totally.
And I'm friends with almost all of my exes, and I think that that's a good thing. Like, I really value the time I've had with everybody. I've learned from every relationship I've had, and I really want all of my exes to be happy and be in a great relationship.
For young women listening, it's fucking hard to end something that, especially I'm sure when you have children, like you have deep ties with someone, there is love there because what you've created, the world you've created with this person. But when you know something's not right for you, how did you like mentally work through ending it officially? Because that
it's scary.
Is hard.
It's really scary. I mean, it took me a few years to actually pull the trigger, to be honest.
For you, was it just time, or were you finally like, okay, something happened, like now I'm going to do it?
No, it was more just time. It was like nothing major happened at the end, you know? It was just time. And I remember always asking my mom, like, well, how am I going to know? And she would be like, you'll just know. And I did. I just kind of knew. And, you know, it's the scariest thing. It's also the saddest thing. I mean, it's so many emotions, but it can also be the best thing, you know? And so I really don't think anything good comes easy, really, like with anything in life. And so, but also you don't want to like just make an impulsive decision either. And I think that's why it's important to write it out. I've also seen couples that have worked through shit and come out on the other side, you know? So, I mean, I think with any relationship, you just have to realize what are deal breakers for you, what's important to you and what's not. And I was really unhappy. I mean, and that was the bottom line. And I was in an unhealthy relationship. And so that to me is not worth it. Also, I didn't want my kids thinking that was normal. And, you know, I wanted them to see me happy and see me eventually, not right now, but eventually see me with someone who really respects me and treats me the way I need to be treated.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Libre by Yves Saint Laurent. Looking for a new statement fragrance? YSL's iconic Libre collection is everything you have been looking for to turn heads and feel your most confident. I feel like vanilla fragrances are all the rage right now, and YSL's Libre Eau de Parfum Intense is the best one out there. If you're looking for something that is subtle, delicious, and sweet, you cannot go wrong, Daddy Gang, with Libre by Yves Saint Laurent. It truly smells so good. And of course, the original Libre Eau de Parfum never misses either. That iconic fragrance is infused with lavender and orange blossom, and it's the most amazing warm floral for every day. Daddy Gang, I have truly never gotten more compliments in my life than when I'm wearing something from YSL's Libre collection. Listen, I may be showing up somewhere rocking a sweatsuit, but even if I don't always look completely put together, you better know I'm always smelling good, okay? I always smell put together. The scents are warm, they're cozy, and just always feel sexier when I'm wearing something that smells amazing. Matt loves the vanilla flavor, so I can't wait to wear the Libre Eau de Parfum Intense next time we have a date night. Having a good signature scent has been a mission of mine for a while now, and I have finally found it. So if you're looking for something that is subtle, delicious, and sweet, you cannot go wrong with Libre by Yves Saint Laurent. Shop now at Sephora. Okay, you are now recording a Laguna Beach rewatch podcast with your ex-boyfriend in high school. I don't know if I could ever fucking sit down with my ex-boyfriend and be like, and also the fact that you have to rewatch it,
I know.
It's like, holy fuck. Do you see yourself ever hooking up with Steven again?
No, I went to dinner with him almost 2 years ago and we kissed, which was fun. I mean, we had a couple drinks and it was just fun, you know?
Right.
And then I was actually dating someone at the time. You know, I'm just making up for lost time. And so I think that was kind of what the issue was that I was dating someone else and it just kind of just didn't turn into anything.
Do you feel like you guys are like, because you know how everyone's like your first love? Like, Do you think there's any way you would explore it again?
No, I really, once I'm done with someone, I'm done. It's like a light switch flips and I can't go back.
Are you guys having that moment? I actually feel like this is something I would think about in high school. It's like, are you guys having any of those moments where together you kind of regress back to the high school version of yourself together? Because do you even know adult versions of each other?
Well, we've kept in touch and we would hang out a little bit before I got married and stuff. But, and I think, had we not gone to dinner almost 2 years ago, I don't know that the podcast I don't know that we would have, well, I'm sure we would have had the same chemistry, but it put me at ease because I was like, I know that we still can, you know, banter back and forth, have fun together. So that was a good thing.
You need to take us through the last date you went on.
Okay.
Where did you go? Did you like the person? Kristen, give us the tea.
This is a good story, actually.
Okay. Tell us.
Okay.
Here we go.
So I hate actors, you know, like I've always known that. Like in my early 20s, I went out with a few and I was like, they're the worst. But an actor asked me out. I was like, all right. So this was in LA. This was probably like 2 months ago. And went to Laurel Hardware. God, I hope he doesn't hear this.
It's okay.
It's fine.
I've gone on dates there too. Let's just pretend it was me there, but you there. Who was it? We don't know. Keep going. Laurel Hardware. That's a good place for drinks.
So he was slamming drinks. And then at one point he was telling me he does his own stunts. We were sitting at the bar. Okay. It's fucking packed. He gets up to reenact a stunt that he had done. Accidentally runs into the waiter and is like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, please sit the fuck down. I can't. Just creating all this commotion in the middle of Laurel Hardware.
I am so turned off. He tried to do a stunt?
Reenacting a stunt in the middle of a packed restaurant. I was like, please sit down.
Also,
please
like, just drawing so much attention.
That's what I'm like, oh my God.
Also, why are you doing a stunt in Laurel Hardware?
Sit the fuck down.
And to confirm, anyone that's not from LA, that is a packed bar. It is not a hardware store. Thank you very much.
It was awful.
So then did you talk to him afterwards?
He's texted me a couple times. And I can't just like ghost someone.
Right.
But I give him like a one-word response.
I don't even know him.
We're in a serious relationship.
Dude, literally.
No.
Okay, so you're just kind of like, I get that. Wait, why do you think you can't ghost someone?
I'm too fucking nice, which people would not know about me. I'm too nice.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be ghosted either. I would actually appreciate someone just being like, hey, you know what? You're great, but like didn't feel any chemistry.
Totally.
Which I said that to another guy. I was like, hey, I didn't feel any chemistry. And his friends were making fun of me for weeks about it. I'm like, I actually thought I was being like mature, not wasting anyone's time.
Wait, I love that. What can they say to that?
Exactly.
You can't
he
say
deleted
anything.
my number and told all of his friends and everyone was making fun of me. I'm like, okay, well, thank you for validating why the fuck I don't like you.
Right. And like, I'm an adult and like, sorry, you couldn't take the fucking truth.
I'm trying not to waste anyone's time. Like,
Totally.
let's move on.
If you are not having a good time on a date, because I feel like this is me and I'm wondering if it would be you, they won't know that I'm not having a good time. I'm going to like people please it up and be like laughing, and then he's going to think we're leaving and I'm having the best time, and I'm not going to want to talk to him. Do you give signs on a date if you're not into it?
I know, because it's the same thing. Like, I'll fucking show up to the party, you know? Right. But what I've been doing is I won't go on dinner dates. I will get a drink.
Smart.
They usually turn into dinner because, again, I'm too fucking nice. But like I came this guy who was acting out stunts got dinner with him. I'm like, what am I doing?
You're like, let's get the ravioli.
Dude. Like, I gotta go home. Fuck. Kristen. Yeah. So, because I need to come up with a better game plan of oh, well, I have an early morning, you know.
Right.
Actually, this is another funny story. I almost want to say who it was with. Please. In my early 20s.
Okay. You have to on Call Her Daddy. Come on.
All right, I'll say it. Don't say it.
It's in your early 20s.
There's my publicist is going, don't say it. All right, I'll tell you the story. So I went on a date with a guy. This is my early 20s, height of my partying career, right?
Okay.
He was vegan and he was sober. And I was like, one or the other, right?
Pick one.
Preferably both, or like be both. So I was like, I have an early morning. Well, sorry. Went back to his house, made out with him on his bed. I was like, I have a really early morning tomorrow. Gotta, changed in my car, went to Hyde. I'm such a dumbass. Of course, there's paparazzi. The next day he was like, my friend saw you at Hyde. I was like, oh, really? Oh.
You're like, it's so crazy. I was on my way home and I got an email that the event in the morning was canceled. So I thought, you were asleep. I'm going to go to Hyde.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad. And he's really cute. But like at the time in my life, like, I'm eating meat and I'm drinking a lot of alcohol. Like, we can't do this.
No, I actually respect the honesty though, because I have done something similar where like, if they're just not on your wavelength, and especially when you're in your early 20s and you're like, I am going to every club. I want to be known at that club.
My job is to go out right now. I don't think you understand that.
And so it's like, even if they're a great guy, maybe if you met him later on.
By the way, I've seen him not that long ago, but like, great guy,
totally.
You know, like,
just not meant for you. No. You were more interested in getting fucked up at Hyde, and I
wanted to go to Hyde, man.
Okay,
sloshed.
Can you tell us who is the most famous person you've denied?
Denied? Oh God.
What about initials? Your publicist is having a panic attack. What about tell us the profession?
I didn't deny a lot of people back in the day, to be honest.
You're like, did you just hear I'm a people pleaser?
You're famous?
I'm staying on the date with the guy doing the stunt. Alex, everyone's getting
dinner with him, all right? Fuck.
No one's getting denied. Okay, how about this? You see someone on Instagram you find attractive.
Okay.
How do you vet these people to see if they're worthy of you DMing them and pursuing them?
I won't DM.
You don't?
Nope, I won't make the first move on Instagram.
Why?
Okay, so where I'm at currently in my life, I want to be pursued. I want to be fucking courted. I want the man to put in some fucking effort. Wow. And I think because guys now, so again, I was with Jay for 10 years. This is my first time dating in the social media world. Like, it's a fucking shit show out there. I hate every second of it.
It's awful.
But guys are lazy as fuck now, and they're always looking for the next best thing. And so it's like, no, I'm sorry. I don't have time for your little bullshit anymore. Like, let me see how serious you are and put in the effort. So no, I'm not making the first move.
I've said, ladies, if you want something, slide the fuck in. But where you're at in your life also kind of dictates what you're going to do. So for you, I totally hear you. We're like, I'm going to sit on my couch, drink my tea, and wait for the men to come in. And if they're not, fucking sayonara, bitch. Yeah. Like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Okay, I think that's a good energy.
One thing I did do was I went to a show and I posted a story of this musician who I did end up dating. So he saw it, DM'd me. So like that in a roundabout way is kind of like making a
pretty casual. I like that. Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
If you were going, though, to slide into someone's DMs, let's pretend like something hits you on a Sunday night. The kids are gone. You're bored. You're like, maybe I'll give it a try. What is? Well,
he's got to be fucking hot.
Okay,
right?
true. I mean, wait, what are you going to slide in with if you had to?
Okay.
If you
like,
had
what's
to.
my pickup line?
What would you say? Hey.
Hi.
Kristen's like, I'm so lazy with it. Hi. Period.
Oh, okay. This is a fun game.
Like,
what would I say? It really depends on the guy, the situation, where he lives. Like, if he lives in Nashville, like, it would be different than if he lived in LA, right?
Totally.
So it would be, I don't know, like, shit, I don't know.
Because, like, Nashville, you could be like, something about, like, do you go to, like, something about,
something dumb
location.
Like that. Yeah.
Or, like, hey, like, are you in Nashville? Like, something like that.
Yeah.
If they're in a different state.
Yeah, then it's like, LA, I come out here quite a bit. So I could be like, I'm going to be in LA and blah, blah, blah.
Like, what are you up to?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do have good game. Like,
we know.
Thank you.
We watched it.
Still got it.
You didn't need to confirm.
I do know that.
That's what I think. That's the best part. I remember watching on the hills when you came back, and you with Brody, he was like drooling because it was just like know how to get Brody. The guy. Sweet Brody.
Love him.
Do you think that would ever go anywhere ever again?
No, I just saw him actually, and I met his new girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
I love Brody, but no, Brody's the only ex I ever went back to though, and it was because I was filming The Hills.
Interesting.
Although on the show we didn't actually date, but we hung out a little bit. I can't remember how it all, but what you saw on the show was all bullshit. Like he and Jade pretended to break up, but they never actually did. Like all that.
Dude, those fight scenes. I was like, Kristen, how do you get yourself riled up to just scream at these? Is it easy for you to get riled up though when you're filming now?
Not anymore, but like back in the day, oh yeah.
When you showed up, I forget the scene, but you showed up. Oh my God, I remember your hair looked great. You were looking great. You showed up and you're like, you want to
oh my God,
that scene.
You came at me like fucking piranhas. God, I know. I was hammered. I watched that back and I was like, Heidi and Spencer was my first day really filming. Heidi and Spencer came with bottles of tequila and it just went south.
And when they showed
you know what I was mad about though? So before I started filming, Audrina and I talked about how we know that they want us to fight and, you know, they want you to go after Justin Bobby and we're not going to fall for that shit. I was like, yeah, no, we're not. Woo. And then we're filming and she comes up to me and picks a fight. And I was like, what? So that's why I was like, so it's going to be like that? So I was like, what the fuck? We just had this conversation.
That makes so much sense. Oh my God, I forgot that. So it's going to be like that, really?
Yeah.
You and whatever came at me like fucking piranha.
Am I crazy? Fuck all of you. It's like game on.
That actually makes a lot of sense how you got that riled up in that scene. Guys, just Google Kristen Cavallari, you came at me like fucking piranhas, and you will watch the glorious moment that Kristen almost loses her shit. But it truly was such an iconic moment. And also, that's so good to know you were hammered because that line was so iconic.
I'm better when I have a little buzz. Like that shit just comes out of my mouth.
See, sometimes people look like idiots. Kristen's like, give me a fucking tequila and I will rock your fucking... I
perform way better.
I love that. Okay, when you're looking at someone's Instagram, now that you're learning how to date with social media, what is a photo? That laugh, guys, I can't. I feel like I've heard that since I came out of the fucking womb. I'm obsessed. It's the giggle. It's the cute one also where the guys are endeared. And then it's also like sinister for women being like, oh my God, is she going to cut my face off? Or do I love her?
Kill me?
Okay, wait. If you're going to a guy's Instagram, he DMs you, you're like, okay, what could be a photo that you see that you're like, absolutely not?
Like a shirtless selfie.
The model photo. It's like,
like, sorry.
Gym selfie.
Yeah, no.
We don't need to see it.
No, be a man. A manly man who's not taking fucking shirtless photos in the mirror.
I agree. We don't
flexing your abs.
We don't need to see it.
Cool, bro. No one cares.
I agree with you. Mine were the fishing photos when they're like holding the big fish in the photo, and I'm like, Sir, what?
That's your thing.
Like, I can't take it. I'm from the Northeast.
Great. To be honest, I would actually love to find someone who's not on social media. Or maybe they have one, but like they really don't post,
That's the goal.
like that kind of stuff.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
When I met my boyfriend and I was like, what? Show me your Instagram. And he was like, I don't have one. And I was like,
I will marry you.
You officially have a second date, buddy. It was
that was so nice.
You're gonna find it. You're gonna find it.
I think so too.
Does someone's prior dating history in the industry affect if you're gonna pursue them?
I would be lying if I said not at all. But if you've dated some fucking trash buckets, yeah, it kind of stands out.
Give us the definition of a trash.
Just like a trashy girl.
Got it.
Yeah, like that. Because then I'm like, why would you be into me? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I'm a fucking saint, but you know what I mean.
Like, I'm not saying I'm not trashy too, but I have like my own category of mindset. No, but I get what you're saying. If like you can tell the vibe of someone if they're dating someone completely different, like you're like, I have my business, I have my kids, like I don't got time to bullshit.
Exactly. Like I'm just at a different phase in my life. The shit I put up with when I was 21 is totally different than I will now.
What is a non-negotiable for you now in a potential partner?
A non-negotiable is someone who cannot take any accountability and who is insecure. I mean, honestly, I need someone who is so comfortable in their own skin, because that's been the crux of most of my relationships.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you can't, I've had that before too, where it's like, because then it comes to you just constantly having to build them up and you're like.
And they're threatened by everything in my life. Everything. And it's like, I don't have time for that anymore.
I can't babysit you.
Yeah.
Would you date an athlete again?
It's not at the top of my list. I'm not looking for one. They like me for some reason. And so I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm not looking for that. And I would love to I'm fucking 35 now. Like, they're all a little young for me now. I've been attracting a lot of guys in their 20s, though. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, Kristen.
I've just decided, though, like 30s at least, okay? Like, in my perfect mind, I'm like 45, a businessman, not on social media, no one knows the fuck they are. But that's just not what I've been attracting, so I don't know.
But maybe you're also at a point in your life where, like, since you're newly single and you're getting out there, like, maybe that's also, it's gonna shift, but like you're giving some great energy that like the young bucks are like, Kristen.
I know, I'm like, you guys know I have 3 kids, right? Okay, cool. I just want to throw that out there.
It's like turning them on even more. You're like,
it's like a 26-year-old just asked me out. I was like, 20 fucking sound like you're hot, but no, like I can't.
You're like, are you going to hide tonight?
Like, I've been there, done that, man. I can't.
Okay, if you could go on a date tomorrow with any person of your choice,
okay,
who would it be? Like
maybe Alexander Skarsgård. Is that how you say his name?
Who is that?
Oh, wait. Google him. Someone Google him, please. Big Little Lies.
Yes.
I mean, maybe his character wasn't the best in that show, but you know, he's been in other shit, right?
You're like, I don't want to. I'm not
base that off of that character.
You're like, it's not because of the character; it's because of him. Guys,
like,
don't
wow,
get it
you
twisted.
really worked through your shit.
No. Okay, that's a good answer. Okay, as we wrap up. You are everywhere. I feel like when I was prepping for this interview, I'm like, I can't keep up with Kristen Cavallari enough. Do you feel exhausted by the fact that your income and your job is slightly dependent at times on you being in the public eye?
Yeah, I do. Because honestly, if everything went away, I would be okay. But now that I'm a single woman, especially supporting 3 children, I have to keep my money coming in, right? And so, yeah, it's kind of but in the same breath, what I'm doing now, I really love. Like the podcast, for example, I've really enjoyed. And I do feel like because I live in Nashville, I can kind of separate a little bit and I go back to a really normal, peaceful life. And so I actually think I have a really good balance with everything right now.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
And being on TV, sometimes I feel like we get a version of you. Like you said, I just learned that you weren't like the most confident girl in high school. And it's helpful to hear you be able to kind of like debunk those myths about yourself through time. What is something you feel like people don't understand about you that you wish you could just like set straight and they understood like who Kristen Cavallari is?
Well, I think there's obviously a lot of sides to my personality. I do have that like fiery go-getter part that I think a lot of people do see. I also can be very shy and very reserved. I'm a homebody. I recharge by being quiet and having alone time. And I I just think people would be surprised at what a normal life I live. Like, people always assume I have chefs and nannies and butlers. It's like, I don't have any of that shit, you know? And so I think, I don't know. I think I'm way more normal than people probably think.
No, I love that you're explaining that, because I think also, like, you could be in LA going to all the places, getting paparazzi'd all the time. Like, it takes someone to, like, specifically try to, like, maneuver the world and not be photographed all the time. And there's ways to do it.
There is. Yeah, there is.
But it's cool that you're, like, living in Nashville. Because isn't your house, like, not...
Yeah, I'm actually, like, 35 minutes outside of the city, like, out in the country.
So you're living a pretty normal life when you're there.
Yeah, I am. And the other thing, too, is, like, I'm not seeking press. Like, obviously, I just did this video for my company with Tyler Cameron for Uncommon James, which I knew would get press, but that's different. That's for my company. I'm not, like, out there trying to, like, be in the press and be in the media and, like, only date someone famous. And, like, I don't think like that. And so... And I think because I am in the press a lot, like, and I actually roll my eyes at that shit. I'm like, how the fuck are they creating a story out of nothing? I actually just had to, like, talk myself off the ledge the other day because I was like, okay, look at it this way. At least you're being talked about. People care. It's like, you know, I have to just kind of, like, turn the narrative around in my head, because otherwise I'll drive myself insane.
Do you think it's helped you, though, that you have now this brand that, like, now you're not just fully, it's not all about Kristen and who she's dating and your love life and your social life, because that's what it originally was. And now you have something, you're like, no, this is my business. And this is, like, something that's completely independent of who I'm dating.
Yes. And that's how I can justify it. I'm like, well, if people are talking about me, my company benefits. And so it's all good. It's all good.
Totally.
Yeah.
Kristen, thank you so much for coming on Call Her
Thanks
Daddy.
for having me.
You're
this
amazing.
was fun.
Oh my God. We're going to have to do it again.